What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. We are the usual skeptics. My name's Reed, and I kind of got tongue tied there. Wes, how you doing, man?
Dummy. We didn't do a sound check, and this cat wants to say, "Oh, I'm Reed." I'm doing great, buddy. Doing good. Day off today. Day off tomorrow. Can't complain. So, I hope that you're doing good. We need to know how we're sounding. So, 80s kid, I know you're in here, so let us know how we sound, if we're okay and everything. I'm looking at the chat right now. So we got some stuff we want to talk about first. There's a few news things that we're going to talk about for just a second, and then we're going to get into the important thing. What this video is about, which is the state of Marvel and what they can do to fix it. What our opinions are of what they can do to fix it. So, Gabe, let's go ahead and see how we're doing, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Wes. I'm doing outstanding. Sorry. So what I was trying to do, I forgot to mute the YouTube portion over here. Just give y'all inside baseball. I forgot to mute it. So when I was talking, I was kind of hearing the last like 3 seconds over here. So it was like it confused my my brain. So but yeah, it's good to be here. Wes, it's good to have this current schedule right now. So right now we're planning to do a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, unless something huge pops off, because Wes has a awkward work schedule, and I just work a normal 8 to 4:30. You know, the normal good stuff. But it is good to have the folks that are in here. It's good to see a couple of y'all in the chat already. 80s kid, got Paramadia in here. Thank you. Thank you folks for returning. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, like Wes said, we had a couple things that we're going to talk about. Our main topic is going to be the state of Marvel. Like what has it been? Wes and I have been planning to do this video for a long time, and it's kind of become prevalent after Ant-Man Quantumania, and then we got Guardians 3 coming out here in a few days, which we'll both see, and we'll do an open spoiler discussion next week, by the way. But it's kind of like a retrospect, right? In its past, what's kind of built up, and we're going to talk about Iron Man here in a minute. 15th anniversary, by the way, and we're gonna talk about what
15th or 10th. You said
15th. Did I say 10? 15 years. It is old. Holy cow! And I'm old as well. I was 15 when I went and seen that. But yeah, so it's a deep dive into Marvel, kind of where it's been, what kind of made its success, and post Endgame, kind of what's been happening. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing in the tail end of the video. But we're going to spend the first chunk of the video. We're going to try not going to spend too long here, but we're going to be talking about Wes a couple different topics. Do you want to go ahead and just jump right in the first one?
Yeah, for sure. Okay, all right, so we are going to go to the first one here. He's going to pull it up, and basically, the first thing of business is we're going to talk about Pedro Pascal joining the Gladiator sequel on Paramount. So Gabe's going to pull that up for us. He's going to read through it just a little bit, and then we're going to give our opinions on it, I guess, because we don't talk about this stuff before we get on here.
Yep.
We read over it a little bit, kind of skim over it, but like we want everything to kind of be just off of our top of our head, like what we think about the situation. We don't ever just want to come on here and kind of be fake about it, I guess, and kind of be, already predetermined what we're going to say back and forth to each other. So we think it's funner that way. I think you guys enjoy it better that way.
Oh yeah.
Or will enjoy it better that way. Just because I like making fun of Gabe, and it's a lot funner that way. So, Gabe, let's get into this article really quick.
All right, man. So yeah, everyone, if you follow me for any period of time, Wes, I don't even think you and I had talked about this really, but I'm a huge fan of Gladiator. It is literally one of my probably top 10 favorite movies of all time. Gladiator's fantastic. Ridley Scott went on to do, The Martian. He's got Alien under his belt. Black Hawk Down, which I think is my personal favorite war film, period. I love Black Hawk Down. I never hear anyone in any film circle talk about Black Hawk Down. It's incredible. Won Academy Award for sound design, I believe. If someone can fact check me on that. But, the movie's incredible. Ridley Scott can do no wrong. Well, if you haven't seen Gladiator, Wes, you've seen Gladiator, right?
Are you serious right now?
Well, I'm just saying.
That's not even a fucking question.
It's not even a question.
Keep going.
So what brings this a little kind of problematic and kind of going, huh, that's awkward. The way Gladiator ends, the Russell Crowe's original Gladiator ends is, well, the main character dies. Spoiler alert. It's 23 years old. If you haven't seen it by now, oh well. But we got news several months ago that Paramount is ramping up Gladiator 2 sequel over there at Paramount with Ridley Scott returning. Well, Pedro Pascal, man, keeps getting popular. We got here, this comes to us from Deadline. Pedro Pascal joins Ridley Scott's Gladiator sequel at Paramount. While a second season of HBO's hit series The Last of Us is in the works, its star Pedro Pascal looks to have found the project he'll shoot during the hiatus. The boy is a big one. Sources tell Deadline that Pascal is in final negotiations to join the untitled Gladiator sequel for Paramount. He joins Paul Mescal, who just, we'll get to that here in a second, who will star as Lucius, the child from the first film, as well as Barry Keoghan, Joseph Quinn, who we recently seen in Stranger Things, Connie Nielsen, who is returning, and multi-Academy Award winner, our boy Denzel Washington, with, like we said, Ridley Scott returning to direct. Pascal's role is unknown. And then it goes on to talk about Gladiator, the original film, for a while. So, Wes, what do you think about this news, man? Like, does this excite you? What are your quick thoughts about the first film, and where does Pedro Pascal fit in this? Do you think he's going to be villain?
So, okay. So, oh, well, you said it for me. So for me, I loved the first movie. I thought it was awesome. Russell Crowe did an amazing job before he got fat, and he was just really, really good. I really enjoyed the film a lot. Now, I do like the fact that, they're going to bring it back. I'm pretty sure, his son's going to become the Gladiator and all that. But my first reaction and stuff to this is like, Pedro Pascal has proved that he's a proven actor. He's a proven person that can do anything. I mean, hell, he went from The Last of Us to doing what's the other film? I'm brain farting, but like he's doing all these serious stuff, and then he goes and does SNL and blows it out of the park.
Yeah.
So he's got a wide range of acting, and he's not really done a what is it? A villainous role. I don't think I've not seen him in one. So I do think that this could be a good breakout for him if he was the villain
Agreed.
in this. You know what I mean? I think that this could be a really good setup for him to do other projects where people aren't looking at him to be the hero. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's very diverse and can play all kinds of different things.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
I mean, Mando. Shit, I didn't even think about Mando, but you know what I mean? Like, so, doing stuff like that and going from that to this, Pedro Pascal's got my vote. I mean, for me, it excites me. I am kind of nervous just because the whole, like how it ended the last time, but, I think that, if anybody can do it, I think Ridley Scott can definitely come in there and make
Absolutely.
a good film. So,
I think you're right, and it's kind of funny because that kind of just came to me right there when I asked you about him being a villain. That was one of the first things I thought of when I read the article.
mhm.
Because if you think about it, Pedro Pascal, Wes, I know you haven't seen Game of Thrones, which you should. Game of Thrones is freaking awesome. It's fantastic. Despite the last season kind of throwing it direct. I mean, you might like it. It doesn't ruin the show, but it's quite good. Anyway, Pedro Pascal plays a significant role. Chad, y'all have to remind me, excuse me, in the which season he pops up in, season 4 or 5, I think. He's fantastic, Wes. Pedro Pascal is awesome, and he, not that he plays a
And
kind
which
of
one? I'm sorry.
Pedro Pascal in Game of Thrones. He doesn't really
Oh, okay.
play not a sleazy character per se, but he's very smart. He knows what he's doing, and it's a character that kind of pits people against each other, but he's a man about honor and respect, but he's also about revenge, and that's the kind of character that he plays, and I think he played it very well. I could see him playing something very similar in this Gladiator sequel, but it'd be interesting. I will say it'd be interesting either way. I think we can all agree that whatever role he plays, hero or not, I think he might be a great villain. Like, I want to see, like, we've seen him as a hero too many times, too,
hmm
like, consecutively, right?
Like I
Like,
said.
let's see him do something different, right?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If they announce him as one of the main heroes or protagonists, I'm gonna be like, all right, it's cool. It's
Yeah.
Pedro
Exactly.
Pascal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But come on, it'd be a little interesting to let's get a villainous role, right? But then again, I would love to see
Because you know he
Denzel.
can do it. I mean, if
He
you look at
can
The
do it,
Last of
absolutely.
Us, if
Yeah,
you look at The Last of Us, and him as a whenever he first meets Ellie, and he's like very passive aggressive, and very, you see little bits and pieces of like, I bet he'd be a good bad guy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You
yeah,
get what I'm saying? Like in
right.
those scenes where he's just kind of standoffish
Yep,
and just like, no, you're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like whenever she's trying to have fun and whatever and joke around, and he's just like, nope, not having it. You know what I mean? Because he's so broken. And,
true.
we've went over this and stuff, um, but yeah, I see it. I see it. And I think that he can do it. I think that it'd be really good. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, chat, I'm gonna leave it to you all. What do y'all think about this news? What do you think about Gladiator? Where does it rank amongst one of your favorite films? Surely it's got to be up there. But if you don't like Gladiator, let us know what you think in the comments. And what do you think about this news? Do you think Pedro Pascal is going to play a significant role? I mean, obviously his name's hot right now. Who wouldn't want him in a significant role, right? Let us know in the comments what you think and leave your thoughts there. All right, so Wes, give us an update on the chat there. What's 80s kid talking about?
um, hold on, I'm replying.
Oh, you're good. By the way, y'all firing off in the chat. That's awesome. I mean, that's incredible. Thank y'all for the
Yes,
brief
thank you.
hiatus. We had the weekend to kind of chill a little bit, so it's been kind of cool to have
So,
y'all return.
so basically, we just been talking back and forth. He's got some stuff for Marvel, but we'll talk about that here later.
Yeah.
Um, he's just talking about he got a tripod
Oh, there you go. There you
for
go.
making his videos. Comes with a small remote. I said, nice,
That's what I'm talking
He
about.
said exactly, but I'm not sure because we were talking about a bunch of stuff. So he's probably agreeing with us on some of that stuff. But yeah, and he's talking about Pedro Pascal could be Doctor Doom.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay. Oh,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I see that, but like I also said, I think that Adam Driver could be Doctor Doom too.
I mean, they're
He'd
all
make
great
good Doctor
actors.
Doom
They're all great
if he
actors.
doesn't,
Yeah.
if he doesn't go to you know what I'm saying,
Fantastic
doesn't
Four,
take
yeah.
the role. So,
Yeah, for
um,
Reed. All right, man.
but
Well,
yeah,
sounds good.
I'll keep an eye on the chat
Yes,
and
sir.
all that good stuff and reply and everything. Let's go ahead and go on
Yeah.
into subject number 2 so we can get moving
Yeah,
on
man. Sounds
everything
good.
else.
All right, so we're going to go into moving our second topic. All right, so if any of y'all have followed us for any period of time, Wes and I go off on trying to choose my words carefully here because it's going to be taken way out of context. In the manner of The Boys. The Boys has been one of my favorite shows. Wes, I even coined it what I thought was the best thought. I'm going to get to that here in a second. Best TV show on right now and has been in years. The
Bro,
Boys is It's no question.
no question. No question. The Boys is
Fantastic.
the best show on
It is
television.
awesome, dude. The Hero-gasm episode, right? The way they
Oh my
tee off
God. No,
Homelander
all
and
of them, dude.
well, all
Seasons
of them.
1,
They're great.
2, and 3.
Fantastic.
Perfect.
They're awesome. Well, it
Perfect.
had been announced that they are working on a spin-off series, which is tied in, with the same universe, and it's titled Gen V, which we've known for a while. Well, we just got news that dropped a poster yesterday. I want to take a look at it here. This comes to us from our friends at Collider. Patrick Schwarzenegger, yes, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, is a charged up soup and first Gen V poster. Now, we knew he was going to be in the series for a while now, him and a couple of other names, but and I posted it on my TikTok at the time when they were cast. I'm like, yeah, these guys are great. I don't know if they can act. So I mean, I don't, I don't know if this is gonna be great or not. But look, I trust Eric Kripke. I trust Seth Rogen. I trust the producers. I trust the writer, who I think Eric Kripke writes all the scripts. But I think this show's going to be dope, man. I think it's going to be dope. And we got a trailer a few months back as well. But let's go ahead and read into this here in a second, kind of refresh everybody's memory. So Prime Video is getting ready to introduce us to the next generation of superheroes as new promotional material for the upcoming series Gen V, a spinoff from the popular superhero parody series The Boys, has just been released. While the previously released trailer showcased the blood and gore to be expected, the newly released poster spotlights one of the soups in training, Golden Boy, played by Patrick Schwarzenegger, described
Nice.
as a top prospect with thermonuclear power and pure charisma. Golden Boy appears supercharged up as he stands against the backdrop of Wes. I'm troubling here.
Uh,
Godolkin
Godolkin.
Godolkin University's logo. We'll go GU for now.
Yeah.
Gen V will be set within the halls of Godolphin University School of Crime Fighting as operated by Vault International, taking place within the same universe as The Boys. Gen V will center on the lives of hormonal competitive soups as they put their physical, sexual, and moral boundaries to the test, competing for the school's top ranking. If that doesn't sound like anything The Boys related, I don't know what is. This sounds fantastic. Wes, you hear a little bit of this, man. It takes place in college. We're going to see some horny college students with superpowers. What do you think of this?
Super stoked, bro. Like, dude, I love The Boys. The Boys was my favorite show. And has been my favorite show. I mean, like hands down. And the acting so good on The Boys. So I'm kind of skeptical because I'm like, okay, we got to figure out if he's going to be like get to the job type thing, or if we're gonna go on a real acting tour here. So because they've got a lot of how do you say it, like they got a lot of big shoes to fill. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely,
they've got big shoes to fill. So does it have to be as good as The Boys? Nah, it ain't got to be as good as The Boys. But would I want it to be good, like, and just as good story wise? Yeah, I think that's not much to ask for, is to have a good storyline, have a good whatever. But you know, now it is very mature, so I think that who was an 80s kid was like, I don't watch mature content, which I was like, that's fine. Like, that is totally okay, man. Like, we're not going to sit here and shame anybody for not watching that
boundaries.
Stuff. It pushes a lot of boundaries. So,
of what,
all good, man. Like but it is a fantastic show. If,
at its core,
if you're able to watch it is a very fantastic show.
Absolutely.
So
without the gore, without the blood, that's what makes the show so good, is that it doesn't need all that stuff. But the fact that it and we got Patrick Schwarzenegger here as the Goldican University, which is pretty cool. I mean, this seems like a Human Torch type of character. I think he's gonna be kind of cool.
Yeah. So chat wise, Paramedea says waiting like 2 years for season 3 of The Boys felt so long, but was so worth the wait. Gen V should be a good little holdover snack before we get
You're not wrong.
Before we get season 4, not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
And they're both going to be coming out around the same time.
And I love it. And I love your wording, how it's like, it's a holdover snack. It better be a holdover snack. That's what I'm talking about.
Look, if I'm not mistaken, we may even get season 4 of The Boys before this show, because I think the show, while not a release date had been what am I trying to say? Announced, like, for sure. Like, we don't have any concrete information. Yeah, there's nothing here in the article that states, but we are, let me pull it up right here. We are looking at, however, a between January and December 2023 release date. So yeah, so anytime.
No, I mean, the boys probably won't be till the beginning of
2024.
2024. I'd say.
Well, they played it last summer though. I don't see how they would now. Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe they announced season 4 of The Boys release date. I don't know, but off the top of my head, I don't know. Maybe if y'all know in the chat, let us know. But
I will say this:
I'm down.
I did see an article where basically, who's the guy who plays Homelander?
Anthony Starr.
Yeah, he said that he was like, if you thought we pushed the boundaries before, he was like, you've not seen anything yet. He was like, I had to go. Like, he was like, I've done some things that, like, in this season 4, that's like, we're pushing the walls. Like, we're like touching the ceiling right now,
right?
Pushing up drop boards, like, So I'm super excited about that too. Like, legit, what I mean? So
I think it's going to be great.
Said mid to late 2024 is my estimate for season 4 to
and
release.
That's probably right. Like, with all the setbacks and especially now we got the writer strike going on. Now the season 4 has probably been in the can for a hot minute anyway, but we'll get to the WGA stuff here in a bit. So, but no, you're not wrong. I mean, that's probably going to be that. They're probably going to release this Gen V series and then lead into season 4. So we're just about to see. Now we are going to see some crossover They did say that we're going to get some main characters from The Boys, the flagship show in Gen V. So it'll be interesting to see how all
I'm
that.
here for it.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't think that
I'm down.
that Homelander's going to drop in? I mean,
He's
you know what
got
I'm
to.
saying? Like he's got to. Starlight. I'd love to see me some. Quaid in there. I forgot his name. Huey. I'd love to see some Huey in
And
there.
let's not forget, Jeffrey freaking Dean Morgan is coming in season 4.
Oh, so
it is
excited.
going to. Oh my god, it's going to be so cool. Anyway, chat. Let us know what you think. Yeah. No, you're good. Let us know what you think about Gen V. What do you think of The Boys? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you think. And here we go.
Parody said The Boys is about to be NC-17.
It's about to be definitely a something. If they're topping Herogasm, we're into
Herogasm.
We're into some stuff. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think of The Boys and Gen V in the series? Are you excited for it? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think. All right, man. Let's go ahead and jump into our next topic here. So this one we're going to take. It's a little bit of a more serious note. However, we have to talk about it. And why don't we go ahead and do that? So let me get this ready here. So Wes, we haven't really talked about it before, but really the last time this happened was 2007, 2008 was a writer's strike.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was a long time, like 15, 16 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I mean, back when like Breaking Bad was still on air.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And if any of y'all remember, some of y'all watching this probably don't even care, and that's fine. But as film fans, as pundits, and as people kind of in the space, we'd be remiss not to talk about it. But the writer's strike is going on, and they announced for a couple months ago up until now, where they said, look, prepare for a strike. Okay, what does that mean? I'll give y'all the short version. What the Writers Guild of America, what the strike means is that they are basically ending their deal. And if the lead company that basically pays them, right, that union, if trying to not construe information here, basically they're re-upping a deal and they're negotiating a contract. And if they don't agree, they vote to have a strike. Well, what that means is they all basically walk off set. Production shuts down on some of your favorite TV shows, some movies, even if they're in the Writers Guild of America.
There were some that were really big that like didn't come like. Yeah, huge shows. That,
I mean, they cut season
gone for a year.
Yeah, the last time,
you know what I mean?
And the last time the strike happened, it cut a couple Breaking Bad. Now I don't know how many episodes, but it affected Breaking Bad. It cut a season or two. I don't remember exactly, but of The Office, a time or two. Oh, we got a little technical thing here.
You're okay. I'm just
no, you're good. So it affected The Office. It affected Breaking Bad. It affected all the was it The Office? And affected all the late night shows, Stephen Colbert and, Jimmy Fallon, stuff like that. Like all those got shut down. Were they even around back then? But anyway, late night talk show hosts were shut down. So
and I'm back.
But it's serious and all these things that, it's a big deal. And all they're asking for is just better compensation. Because what's the biggest thing coming out right now is streaming. Streaming has changed the game. And they're not being credited enough. They're being paid less for, let's say, like their work on streaming. They're being paid less than they would be with the same amount of work working on a network television show, right? Like on ABC or something. And it's just not fair. And that's all they're asking, right? Is to let's just let this be fair, right? And that's one of the things we're going to talk about. And jumping right here, Wes, into this gives an excuse to kind of talk about two of them in the same show here. So House of the Dragon season 2 will continue filming amidst writers' strike. All scripts were finished. And we'll talk about this here in a second, but there's one big question mark that I have with this. But this is one of the shows that's, quote unquote, not going to be affected. Let's go ahead and read along this here. So filming on season 2 of House of the Dragon will continue in the UK, despite the US's writers' strike. A source close to production tells Variety that scripts on the hit show have been done for some time, and the filming on the second season won't be affected. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, those are the people that they're basically negotiating with, ended contract talks with the Writers Guild of America on Monday night, which was last night, hours before the contract expiration deadline. The WGA responded by calling for a strike to begin on Tuesday, in which earlier today it did happen. Under strike rules, Writers Guild of America members working internationally must down tools on any project that falls within the union's jurisdiction if there's active writing work taking place. As such, a number of U.S. projects filming in the UK could be affected by the strike. It's just a matter of how extensively such a disruption the impact the production overall. Luckily for HBO, completed scripts allow production to keep going, though it's unclear how the cabler will handle any rewrites that are required on the show. Wes, this is my biggest issue. Now, maybe I'm just being a little skeptical. Maybe I'm being a little, maybe I'm overthinking it. But Wes, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. This worries me. Wes and I have our review up of all of House of Dragon season 1, which we loved. Right, season 1 I said the boys also, but House of Dragon was just so freaking awesome. It was fantastic. Wes, you hear this news about and it's not the only show. House of Dragon is not the only show, but this is the one we chose to talk about. House of the Dragon, a show that Wes and I love. I'm saying I'm worried about it because they're coming in to continue production on the show, but there's no writers. There's going to be no rewrites once they shoot dialogue, and apparently they've been shooting for a week already. Okay, Wes, does this worry you? Like, what are your thoughts on this, man?
So for me, I feel I'm worried about the show, but what I'm more worried about, like I feel for the writers because they're not getting the credit that they deserve. They're not getting. It's just like it was back in 2007 and 2008, whenever it was beforehand. They had every right to do what they did. I was listening to the Office Ladies pod because I'm a dork and I love The Office, but
it's great.
I love it. So I was listening to them, and they were talking about because it was in one of their seasons or whatever that it stopped, and they were talking about how they as actors went out and picketed with their writers because they wanted them to get the money that they deserved. They wanted them to get the credit that they deserved, and I think that's I hope that's how most of the actors feel, because if they don't have somebody writing them the right way, they don't have somebody telling the right stories and doing the right things whenever they're writing these things, that's a problem because there's not going to be good TV. And whenever you sit here and you're talking about, oh, well, the writers are going on strike and they don't know what they're going to do with they don't know what they're going to do about rewrites. Well, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't want to take on that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Me personally, if I was in their shoes, because I'm not going to write the same, I'm not going to write the same as that writer would,
Right.
And then you're going to get credit over top of them because you rewrote some of it. Like, take it for what it is, but they all need to be like, no, these people need to get what they deserve. And that's how I feel. I feel bad for the writers.
And I do like too. And it sucks because all they're asking is for fair wages. They're working, like, for example, the people working on streaming shows, they're working more and they're being abused more than they would, like, let's say, for an example, a network show, and they're getting paid the same. And it's like what? Why? Or sorry, they're being basically what I'm saying is streaming has changed the game, right? And has caused a friction and yeah, 80s, you're right, man. 80s kid, the writers should get more credit. They're the ones that are responsible for great storytelling. That's the point. They're responsible for your favorite shows. They're responsible for your favorite movies, right? Now, again,
they're responsible for your favorite one-liners.
They are.
Think about that.
They are.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Now, some of these that do improv, like The Office, that have some of these improv things, the storytelling is where it's like, okay, well, that was the writer.
But without
But
that writer,
without the writer, there's no improv.
there's no improv. And
So
that sucks. And now Wes, as much as this sucks, right? It does. How do you feel about House of the Dragon season 2 filming? Like, do you think that should worry you? Do you think, no, it's not a big deal? Like, excuse me,
I
honestly, like, what's your
I'm
thoughts?
honestly I'm worried about it. I don't know. Like I said, I feel like, so whenever the office ladies were talking about it, they were saying that like they filmed what they had script wise,
Right.
right? And that's why the season was so short. There was only like 9 episodes or something of that season whenever there was usually 20 something episodes, right? But they finished up what they had, and then they went and picketed with them. They went and
Right.
done stuff with them. I get it. The script's done. Shoot it. If it's not what you want, don't release it. Wait until this writer's strike is over, or whatever. But I wouldn't do anything that's gonna
Yeah.
take away from the credit that these writers are gonna have.
And that was kind of
So,
my
and
thought
that's
today was, despite all the, everything going on and how serious this is, it is, I like hearing that, no, we're going to push through this, right? Because we've blah, 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 but at the same time, it's like to continue. Now I know money's on the line. I get that. I get that. But why would you as HBO, why would you as Warner Brothers Discovery, why would you risk that? Why would you want to risk, oh, let's say the strike happens for months. Okay, what if they're shooting House of Dragon? You're telling me you're that bold? I don't care who you are. You're that bold that you have a big enough or a good enough script, which I trust, by the way. I trust people behind season 2. I think it's going to be fantastic. But you're trusting that script so much that you're not going to allow any rewrites because there's not going to be a writer on board. So that worries me, man. I'm not going to lie. That worries me. And I hate that it's like that. But I mean, it is what it is. And, I hope that they figure it out. I hope the strike isn't long, not only for the writer's sake, but so that we can get these shows the quality that they deserve. We don't need half-ass quality. We don't
no,
need we don't
no.
need
You
shows top tier like if this is from Desperate Housewives or like
Yeah,
Cooking with
but
Jamie, that is what it is. But we're talking about tentpole shows and movies. They don't need to be half-assed. These things need to come in,
no, they need to
you
be
know,
perfect. They need to be on
perfection.
perfection and on point.
Yeah,
And you can't have something that's on point if you don't have a writer who's like, you know what? No, we need to rewrite this. We need to do this, and this. You
that's
know what
what
I
you
mean?
need.
It's like whenever you're in a kitchen,
Yep,
right? If you don't have everything in order, if you
yep.
don't have that perfect, or yeah, if you don't have the right person up front that is greeting the guests, guess what?
Be
You're not going to
problematic.
have the right. You're not going to have, like, their first impression is of the person taking their order. If
Right,
that person is lovely and blah blah blah, for me, and I know it because I've studied it. Like,
right.
that's what I went to school for. That's what I've studied. If that person that greets them from the host all the way back to the back to their waitress, and then whenever they get their food, whenever I come to a spot and a hostess is like so welcoming, hey guys, welcome in. Like, sorry we're on a wait, but blah blah blah. That puts me at ease. I'm like, okay, she knows what's up, blah blah blah. Like, she's very attentive. But if I walk in and a person's just like doesn't notice that I'm there, doesn't care, doesn't even say hi,
You put a
I'm
stench in your
more
mouth.
I'm
Yeah,
more likely to be
or
like,
nose.
later, I'm out.
Right.
But you have to have that perfect thing because perception is everything. And if you've got everybody on board, like, I'm more apt to go in, and if something's wrong on my plate, be like, hey, it's okay. Like, can you just go back and fix it? Instead of being like, this is wrong. I'm never coming back here.
Right.
Do you get what I'm saying? And so to have that on set, whenever you take that and you put that on set, you have to have the perfect writers. You have to have the
Have
perfect
to.
director. And it doesn't happen all the time. That's why we get shitty movies. That's why we get crappy shows. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But for these shows that are making perfection, The Boys, House of Dragon, um, Last of Us, all these things, you're making these great shows.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the perfect people in places, you don't have the perfect actors, you don't have the right actors, you don't have the right directors, producers, staff, cameraman, sound guy. If you don't have those people, guess what? It's going to crumble and something's going to be wrong.
It will. And I hate that they're risking. Again, I get it. It's all about the money. I get that. But also as your business, just as okay, if you want to look at it from a money perspective, look at it as a business. Like, how would this look like? It's like, we feel confident enough. Go ahead and put it out. And it's like, rewrites happen all the time. That's why Kevin Feige, now back in the day, reshoots, that was a big deal. That was like a no-no. That was like, oh crap, something went wrong behind the scenes. Like something bad wrong. Yeah. But
we
Kevin
call
Feige,
it Ezra Miller nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
But Kevin Feige had stated, no,
or Jonathan Majors, whichever you want to call
whichever one. Every studio's got one. There you go. Pick yours. Kevin Feige said, we set apart schedule. Well, like we plan months in ahead, right?
Yep.
Reshoots, because it's going to happen. The movie is, I forgot what filmmaker said this, but the movie shot, yes, on set, but the movie is made in the editing room, or however they said it, like that. And how true that is, because in post-production, right? And I've edited a few films myself. It's grueling. It's crazy. Now, not on the extent of a tentpole blockbuster or anything like that, obviously, but or else what am I doing here? But it's the fact of, there's a lot of work going on, and all we're saying is that why can't they wait? Like, I personally would rather them wait. I would rather go, you know what? There's a strike going on. Let me wait a couple months. I would rather wait a couple months and get a great season 2 of House of Dragon than to go ahead and shoot now, get it earlier, and get a mediocre season of House of Dragon. That would be so disappointing. But
agreed.
Chat, what do y'all think about this news? Do you like House of Dragon? Do you like Game of Thrones? Do you like this universe? What do you think about this news? What do you think about the WGA strike? And do you, how hopeful are you? Do you think that they're going to come to an agreement? Let us know in the comments what you think about this topic. And Wes, let's move on to a little more lightheartedness. So
I don't know how lighthearted this is going to be, bro.
No, before that one. Before that one.
Oh, we're going to talk about Iron Man.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
One of my favorite movies. Sorry, I got to fix Wes here. He's kind of laying down a little bit again.
It's okay. Sorry, dude, I like leaning back.
Are you leaning back? All right. That's fine. That's fine.
Laid back, sipping on gin and juice. You know what I'm saying?
Gin and juice. All right. So, one of my favorite, and a lot of people could agree, water. Got water. One of our favorite films, Wes, one of my favorite memories of going to the theaters was Iron Man 1. Like, I can tell you exactly what happened. Screw it. 2008.
Oh, God.
It's one of my favorite movie experiences, okay? Look, listen. I love Iron Man. Iron Man has turned 15 today, as of this recording. Turned 15 today. Iron Man 1 holds a special place in my heart that a lot of films don't. And no, I'm not saying it's one of the greatest movies I've ever made, but it's certainly one of the best comic book movies. It's certainly one of the best movies to come out in the last couple of decades. I think it's in the conversation of like the top 50, right? It's great. Iron Man 1 is great. I was 15 at the time, a buddy and me. I said, look, man, and the theater isn't there anymore. It was in Asheville. Was it the Dreamcatcher? It was like it was a
Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, it was across the mall over there. It was right across the mall of the Asheville Mall. That was where
ghetto.
Okay. It was. It really was. So we drove an hour.
Where people talk, like throw things at you in the film.
That was true.
The film. That's fun.
Well, buddy and me, like, I'm a huge Iron Man fan. I've got the tattoos. I got a long sleeve on. I can't show you, but I have tons of Iron Man comics in the closet. My dad collected Iron Man comics as a kid, and as you know, when he got to my age, and then passed them down to me when I became an adult, moved out on my own, and kind of passed it on to me. So when he was kind of picked on, right? Like, Iron Man, really? Like, Iron Man? That's stupid. Iron Man's stupid. He's a stupid character. I go look up footage now I wasn't there, but look up footage of the announcement of Iron Man when they dropped that trailer. They're like, oh, you're all giving us crap right now? Oh, you don't think Iron Man's going to work? Boom, trailer. Everybody's like, oh my God, that looks dope. And even me, I remember going, holy crap. Am I really seeing this on screen? Like, it's crazy. Okay. Buddy and me went to see it at the Dreamcatcher out now in Nashville. I think that was the name of it. It's not there anymore.
It's not there anymore.
It's not there.
It's now a Chick-fil-A.
It's now a Chick-fil-A. So Buddy and me, it's AT&T store. So Buddy and me went over there. Parents dropped us off to watch Iron Man. Dude, this was before the MCU. This was before getting excited for the next Marvel film. This was him and me being so excited. We didn't piss the entire end credits. We were so ecstatic. I'm not going to turn this into a movie review, but the whole movie, we were giddy. We were gripped. We were going, yeah. This was before like the Marvel, like the MCU, like, yeah, like the big crowd busting, erupting in the theater. I mean, yeah, that's been happening for decades and decades and decades, but it's more common with the big blockbusters, right? Well, with Iron Man, I mean, there were several of us in there. And no doubt people were in there going, dude, like, chill. It's all right. I'm like, I don't care. I love Iron Man. So seeing that on live action was just incredible. We were so giddy throughout the whole film. We didn't even piss through the credits. So, how usually you get done with the movie and it's like, all right, I got to rush to the bathroom. Him and me were just so riveted by the film. Me and him's talking about it. And there's a guy next to us. He starts chiming in on our conversation. We don't even know the guy's name. And we're just talking to each other about the film. And then the end credit came up. Nick Fury. We looked at each other and we're like, is that Nick Fury? Because you see his back, right? And we said it literally at the same time, Nick Fury. And then Tony's like, who the hell are you? He turns around. I'm Colonel Nick Fury, and he's talking about the Avenger Initiative. And we're going, oh my God. We're like flipping out on the floor. Dude, it's one of the greatest moments I ever had in a theater. I love this movie. Wes, what are your general thoughts on Iron Man, and what do you think about it turning 15, man?
Holy shit, I can't live up to that. So
I love it so much.
I'm older than Gabe. Like, you're 30, right?
Yeah.
God dang, I was 21 whenever this thing came out.
Holy crap.
Yeah, dude, whenever this came out, I do remember, like, whenever the trailer dropped, I was in college, and for me, I was just like, oh man, like an Iron Man movie, like, like whenever. But then the trailer dropped, and boys were like, because we were in culinary school, and I looked at him and I was like, are you serious right now? I was like, this looks dope. So, but because whenever they came out and they were like, okay, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Iron Man, I was like, that's a mistake. I was like, that's a cocaine cowboy ready to happen right there. So, I mean, at the time it was. Tell me it wasn't. But at the same time, whenever it came out, I was like, this is his comeback. I was like, guaranteed. I was like, this is going to be amazing. And then, I'd heard, because I didn't go see it the first opening weekend. I just went and seen it one of the other weekends because everybody was raving about it. And I was like, oh man, I forgot that was coming out. Went there. They were like, stay for the credits. Stay for the credits. And I was like, there is no way. No way they're bringing the Avengers through here. And then now look at it. So I don't have a big story like Gabe does, but I do. I do love it. It just wasn't like that for me. And I think it's amazing that you had such a great experience like that. But for me, I did enjoy the film so much. You know what I mean?
Wes, I'm sorry. I have to mention this right quick. Paramedia, I love you. All right. Thank you for chiming in on a couple of our streams. But he says X-Men is technically the first MCU movie. If you take into account what happens in Doctor Strange 2 and what will happen in Deadpool 3. Look.
Facts.
No.
Facts.
No.
Paramedia. Facts. I don't agree with anything he's about to say. I'm just going to let you know that right now.
Doctor Strange 2.
You can tell him that you love me more than him. So
that was not the same Professor X. And that was not Deadpool 3 is, let's be honest, Deadpool is its own thing. It does not tie into Wolverine, X-Men, even Deadpool 3 coming out. Deadpool 3 is not going to be related and date back to Iron Man. Will he make jokes and crap about all stuff MCU? Oh, he's going to go nuts. And it's going to be awesome. But no, Paramedia, no. It is not. The first MCU film is Iron Man.
I don't agree. I agree with you.
Anyway.
I agree with you.
Anyway, I digress. But Wes, no, you're right, man. I mean, you mentioned it a while ago. Iron Man is what revitalized Robert Downey Jr.'s career. Because I don't know if y'all knew this, but he was like in jail. Like serious trouble.
That's
like
what I said. That's what I'm talking about. Like dude,
drugs, weapons.
I'm like, bro, that's Cocaine Cowboy waiting to happen, man. And I was like, they messed up. Yeah. They should have got somebody else.
And he goes over on the story how we went to Burger King, and that's what makes a running joke in the first film, and later in Avengers Endgame when Happy makes the comment to Tony's daughter, and he says, "Your daddy liked cheeseburgers," because he's that. God, I love that moment. That's a great moment. He's like, you hungry? What can I get you? And cheeseburger. Your dad liked cheeseburgers. Like such a good scene. Anyway,
but they may not know what you're talking about.
In Avengers Endgame. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, and he tells a story about how we went to, I think it was Burger King, ate, and he was on drugs at the time, and he had a burger, and it was so bad that he threw it in like the ocean or something, and like rethought his life. Now, I don't know if all that's like completely 100% accurate, but he cleaned up, man. He turned his life around, and I actually like that little film he done with, who was it? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyhow, The Judge didn't make any money at the box office, but I thought it was quite good, and that was post Iron Man, and I got a good kick. Oh no, let's. Paramedia follows it up. No. If you're going by that logic of not being the same Professor X, okay, then that means the first Tobey Spider-Man's first MCU movie. Paramedia, look, man.
No, stop, bro.
It's not. Just the conversation's done. Just like Die Hard's not a Christmas movie. Just stop.
Please just stop.
Anyhow,
I'm gonna knock you out, bro.
Anyhow,
I'm gonna find you.
Iron Man is fantastic, and the way that it's came in. And it's now 15 years old. Man, this movie,
I feel oldish.
It makes me feel old, man. I'm just now hitting 30. I mean, like this shot right here. This movie's fantastic. And the movie's just it's about a man who rethinks his life, and very similar to how he done in his real life, right? To himself. And it's about a man taking control of his present so he could change the future. That is what Tony Stark is. That's who he was meant to be, and I love that he brought that gravitas to the character, and met his destiny in Avengers Endgame, but no, chat. Just while we're live, what's y'all quick thoughts about Iron Man? What do you think? Where does it rank among your favorite of the MCU films? I got to fix Wes here. He's about laying down, but let us know what you think.
Well, I'm about to. Don't fix me yet. I'm about to go hook my son up.
No, you're fine.
I'm gonna let you and Paramedia fight it out. See which one of y'all win.
You're fine.
Pretty sure it's gonna be her or him or them or they or whatever the PC thing is now. I don't know.
Oh my lord! All right, so but yeah, if you're watching it, let me know what you think about Iron Man right quick, and then we'll get into our main topic of discussion here in a beat. So let me know in the comments. There's a little bit of a delay, so go ahead and let us know that. Or if you want to talk about any of the other topics, let us know why we're doing that. And again, if you're seeing this and you haven't watched this before, do check out our Twitch. We do stream to there simultaneously with YouTube. And if you are watching this and are liking the content, please drop a like and subscribe. Paramedia, I love you. I love the disagreement. I love the back and forth. So I hope you don't take offense. I think it's great. But yeah, if you're watching this and you haven't already, please drop a like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what to do. So yeah, I'm gonna give that just a second. Paramedia, by the way, read at the end of Deadpool 3 literally goes to the X-Men universe, kills the alternate Deadpool. So look, you're not wrong. Right, that's what they've done. But let's be honest, it was all in good. Yes, Deadpool 2. I knew what you meant. But let's be honest too, it was all in good fun. Right. It was all it's a big goof right? It's big fun. It's not meant to take absolute serious. It's all a complete joke. So that being said, but yeah, no, Iron Man. I love the film. Iron Man 1 is just such a fantastic film. It is one that definitely holds up. And if you haven't seen Iron Man 1 in a while, please go do yourself a favor, go back and watch it. The film holds up quite well, especially on Disney Plus. The 4K transfer, it's fantastic. And I actually think I might have to pull it out. It's the 4K steelbook of Iron Man. I think I have 4K steelbooks of most of the MCU films. The ones that I wanted as a collection was Avengers 1, 2, 3, and 4. But yeah, I have a lot of the MCU steelbooks. Don't have all of them. Don't have all of them, but I do have quite a bit, and I have several and I'm thinking about doing a display back here so y'all can see. I'm about to rearrange all this so and get a decent camera. But yeah, I'm gonna have or I have several Iron Man Hot Toys. If y'all familiar with Hot Toys, or don't want to know, let me know in the comments, and I will if you'll indulge me for a moment, I will show you that. But yeah, I have several Iron Man figures. I have several Captain America. I have whole definitely more than I want to admit of Hot Toys. I was never the biggest Iron Man fan, but I do like how much he evolved throughout his life in the MCU. And yeah, that's one of the things we were talking about, right? About his evolution through the MCU, about the role that he's, kind of played in the MCU, how he kind of lurks over the MCU, even over the movies that he's not in, despite not after Endgame, but we'll talk about it here in a beat. But no, you're right. I mean, his presence still looms over, and the way he evolved throughout the films ever since the first Iron Man is definitely a true statement. Definitely evolved, and whether people liked it or not, I mean, it is what it is. But the point is that he uh, was a man confronted himself, wanted to change things, and is like, no, I can control this. I'm gonna take care of it, right? And that's one of the things I like about it. Um, I'm talking too many games. um, 80s Kid says, I liked it better when he used real tech before it. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Yes. Oh my God. Look, just right quick, just indulge me for just a second right here. Look at that. Like, come on, that shot. Who doesn't love that? Wes will be right back, by the way. But who doesn't love that Iron Man shot? I mean, that kind of that more real, that gritty, just look, that torn look to it. It looks fantastic. This is awesome. You kidding me? 80s Kid, I collect Marvel Legends figures. I like several of the Marvel Legends figures. Absolutely. The problem is I'm running out of room for stuff. My wife makes me put everything in the closet. She barely lets me put anything out here. But yeah, I'm going to do a whole display. I have a couple shelves just right over there that I'm about to put up. I got my drill right over here. And once I get everything set up, I'm getting a new camera, a new setup, kind of get everything little more level. That way the camera's not looking really down at me like it is right now. Right now I'm using the Elgato face cam, and I'm looking to get the face cam pro. It's pretty dope. But yeah, definitely too many Hot Toys. And yes, thank you, 80s Kid. You are right. You are preaching to the choir. The real tech, quote unquote real tech, it brought more realism to it, if that makes sense. Now, do we really believe a man like that can go out and fly around in a you know very heavy metal suit? No, ain't no way. Not the way he can, right? But there was still a sense of realism and a sense of believability to it, right? That you're able to come in and are able to see him do these things, and it's incredible how they were able to capture that. And then you got to Infinity War. As much as I like that suit, like I like it, but it's not one of my favorite suits. But seeing it in action is pretty dope. Not gonna lie. Like the sword coming out and Thanos grabbing it, breaking it off, stabbing him, and all that kind of good stuff. And we'll get in all that here in a little bit because there's a lot to talk about. So definitely stay tuned for that. 80s Kid says, I collect Black Series too. Yeah, some of the Black Series stuff is pretty dope. I used to collect as a kid. I used to collect the McFarlane toys, or the McFarlane line. Still going on. There's a Spawn figure who I cannot wait to get. There's several. I think we talked about this already on a stream, but the um, gargoyle figures. There's couple of them I'd like to get. I have the 5 Power Rangers set from the original MMPR original series, and it's the green, red, yellow, pink, blue, black Ranger. Sorry, six Rangers, and all I need is the White Ranger. And RIP to Jason David Frank, who definitely left us way too soon. But yeah, I want that white figure so bad, so bad. But I do have the green one, and I have all the rest of them. They're 6 scale figures, about about yay big. They stand about a foot tall, and they are phenomenal. They all come with their own little base. They all come with little weapons. It's pretty dope stuff. Paramedia, Iron Man and Captain America are like Batman and Superman that contrast each other in similar ways. Oh, absolutely, Paramedia. Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about the Captain America and Iron Man ideology, right? Is they both kind of have their own points of view on things, but they both are also able to come together and like they did in Civil War. And Civil War is just fantastic. Civil War is one of the greatest comic book movies ever made. It's incredible. Once you think it's over and you're so emotionally you're so emotionally invested at the airport battle and how much you like all these different characters, right? And then once the battle's over, you're like, "Whew, it's over. Okay, everything's gonna be fine." And then they get to, or is it Russia or Siberia somewhere, and you got Bucky with Captain America fighting alongside each other, fighting Iron Man. And the reasoning behind the fight, that's what makes it so riveting. Like if they were just out there just punching each other, yeah, it'd be like, right? But there was narrative purpose behind the fight. There was narrative reasoning for why they were fighting. Bucky killed Tony's parents, and Tony has some severe PTSD from parental issues. For example, like we've seen in Adventures in Game, where he goes back to see his dad, and he's talking to Howard, and he's like, talking to him about having a son, and he's like, I hope my dad was hard on me, but I turned up to respect that, or however he worded it. And that scene, I know a lot of people kind of dog on that scene, but I really enjoy it. I really do. Just as someone who looks up to his dad a lot, and to have that father in my life, and to be very fortunate to have a father is because I know a lot of people who don't, and it sucks. And my dad tried a lot to like some of the friends I had didn't have dads, and for example, he was trying, not that he was trying to be their dad, but he was providing them that father figure, right? That mentor, or that leader, aspect, aspect in their life. And it was able to bring something to their life. Not that he's anything or anything like that, but he's definitely one of the coolest people ever. And having that moment between Tony and Howard just reminds me of how much my dad and mine's relationship is, and how we go from there. So it's awesome. There's Wes, your dad's the best. Absolutely, thank you, sir. But yeah, it's, and 80s Kid says Bucky's Captain America was awesome in the comics. Yeah, I thought he was cool. I thought it was cool. I liked his role in Civil War. I think that's the comic you're talking about. If it is, I mean, if not, you do let me know. But yeah, I really like the Civil War run. When it was out, I read bits and pieces of it. I didn't read it in its entirety, because it broke off, right? Yeah, like you had the Civil War, like kind of the graphic novels, or the where they lumped all in the one, and they had those volumes, but they also broke off in their own stuff, right? Like Fantastic Four and Spider Man, and Wolverine, X-Men, things like that, and Punisher, and wasn't a big fan of Civil War 2, but going in Civil War, the first installment, and reading all of them, I thought was pretty dope. Not one of the best comic book storylines ever, but definitely up there, definitely in the conversation. Not my personal favorite, but it's very good, very good. I love stories that beg the question of morality, right? What are the moral obligations to this side? Like it brings two objectives, right? 2 points. And what is the morality between the two? And I think it's a good. Secret Invasion's great. I actually think I really like Thanos Quest. or is it Thanos Quest? No, Infinity. I loved Infinity. I thought that was fantastic. I love the Thanos run in that. Yeah, I've been behind on my comic reading lately, to be honest, in the last, like, hate to admit it, last couple years. Batman Year One's another fan. I have that comic actually. I have it. I keep all my comics put in the behind in the whiteboards with the plastic cover. So that's how I store all my comics. Now I have a few that aren't in them, but I still take very, very, very good care of them. The nerd stuff that I have, would would not want me to get all that out. But it is what it is. Yeah, by the way, drop your favorite comic in the comments if you're watching this. Let me know what y'all think. And I think Wes should be back here in just a moment. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. And then we'll take a quick break here in a beat, and we will return with some new with the Marvel topic, which we're going to talk about. And at the end, we'll take the rest of your comments and or any questions or anything like that. So definitely let us know. All right. Let's see. Paramadia says, where'd it go? I lost your chat. All right. Yes, 80s Kid. Yeah, Infinity's great. Infinity's freaking awesome. Paramadia, Flashpoint is in my top 5 favorite comics. Yes. Flashpoint's great. I really, really, really like Flashpoint. Paramadia follows it up. Long Halloween is up there too. Long Halloween is a great one. I think my favorite comic storyline is probably World War Hulk, when the Illuminati sends Hulk away because of his power level, right? His ability. Sends him off because he's such a threat, right? Even Reed Richards was like, he's a threat, and they send him off into space, and he ends up on Sakaar and ends up living a small lifetime there, right? And then has a kid and introduced in the MCU, which is kind of stupid, but it is what it is. Anyhow, or was it Sakaar? That was the planet, right? That he landed on? Was it Sakaar? I think Sakaar was the planet. I think Sakaar was the name of the planet. I don't remember. Let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm saying the wrong planet. But I might be saying that wrong. But anyhow, he lands on the planet and he gets all up in that, and then the ship that he was on, it explodes. The bomb goes off. Hulk finds out that it was Illuminati, and he returns to Earth because it killed his wife. It wiped out everybody that he knew, and he goes berserk, and it's like the coolest thing ever. Well, I don't want to say too much because I want Wes here for this. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But remind me to give y'all my World War Hulk thoughts, and I think Wes is coming back in right here. All right, so Paramadia says World War Hulk's ending was crazy. Yes, it's just such incredible. Now, I know I said that's my favorite, but now I'm mixing up storylines. Is that the one where Sentry shows up and basically wrecks shop? I think that was the one. Maybe I'm wrong, but 80s Kids, The Secret Invasion or Kang Dynasty. I was in the middle of reading Kang Dynasty until the bookmark slipped out. Now I have to start over. Hey, nothing wrong with starting over, 80s Kid. Secret Invasion is great. Kang Dynasty's really good. The Kang Dynasty storyline is very, very, very good. Paramadia, I want that movie so bad. Paramadia, I think you're talking about World War Hulk. I think it's what we're talking about. 80s Kid, oh dear gosh, I couldn't finish She-Hulk. It wasn't for me. Yeah. Wes and I kind of tapped out on that one. I think he's hopping on here just.
That show was garbage.
It was not garbage. Good. It was well. We'll hold off the rest of our talk here. She-Hulk is garbage.
Is there a throw up emoji? I want to throw it up there.
There probably is. I think you're a little quieter.
I don't give a damn if I'm quieter or not.
Whoa, that was louder.
But it was because I was away from the mic. Mic check 1 2.
Mic check 1 2. All right. So, all right.
Some medical stuff got to deal with my son. So, like at 11, like I'll break off, and then you guys can berate Gabe about his stuff that he thinks is good.
Hey, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of it. All right. So, chat, we are going to. Let me see. All right. So, thank you, by the way, for y'all's indulgence as we are now an hour in. Thank y'all for tuning in for the stuff. Now we're going to get in the main stuff here, and we were trying to time it right where we kind of waited for Wes to get back from his old break. But so, Wes, the whole MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, has been a little bit of a spiral since Avengers Endgame. And you and I have had this, and by the way, we'll talk questions at the end of like when we're done with the topic, because we don't want to get a little sidetracked. So definitely shoot in your comments, shoot in your questions, all that kind of good stuff. But we're going to be talking first, and then at the end we're going to go through and drop comments. So definitely let us know. And 80s Kid, we will get there. Don't worry. So Wes, we'll tackle those questions at the end here. We'll just go ahead and get through kind of what we want to talk about. So Wes, we didn't really talk about how we were going to approach this. This is really just going to be more of a raw kind of interview style session on the status of Marvel and how has it been, what legacy, what it's built as a cinematic empire, right? All the way up to Avengers Endgame. And then it felt like it tanked. Wes, just first thoughts, man. What do you think's happened? Like, we've had Thor, Love and Thunder. We've had Ant-Man Quantumania. We've had Doctor Strange 2, which I liked. Didn't love, but I liked. Had Eternals, Shang-Chi. Then we had the Disney Plus shows, right? I mean, yeah, Black Widow, Spider-Man No Way Home. But, man, what's happened?
Everything after Endgame has been either mid or garbage. Love and Thunder, mid. It was okay. You know what I mean? Shang-Chi, I like Shang-Chi more than I have any of those other films that's come out. And that's a fact.
Outside of Shang-Chi, let's, Wes, you might have one or two that I might not mention here, but I think we both agree on WandaVision. Fantastic. Shang-Chi was awesome. I liked Eternals. I consider Eternals a win. I liked Eternals. Wes, I know what you're thinking. We're going to wait. I liked Eternals. I liked it. Doctor Strange 2. I thought Doctor Strange 2 had so much promise. And we'll get to Disney Plus stuff here in a second. I liked Eternals a lot. Doctor Strange 2, I liked a lot. I didn't love it like I wanted to. Like for example, the way Wanda came in, and we're kind of going to go back and forth a little bit here, but the way Wanda came in and just wrecked everybody, like, that was awesome. But you're telling me the Illuminati couldn't put up a better fight than that? Really? I mean, was it cool seeing her like whoop everybody and kill, like, not defeat, she murdered everyone.
Yeah,
that was awesome. But then at the end, it's like, this isn't good writing. Because they were so cocky after what happened to Thanos, their version of Thanos, their universe's Thanos. Doctor Strange took him out, right, using the dark magic and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, then Wanda comes in and they're like, we'll handle Wanda. It's like, thank you, Jim from The Office. Thank you for that. And how great that was. How great seeing Professor X in it. Yes. How great seeing Monica. Yes. How great seeing Black Bolt, Anson Mount as Black Bolt. That was freaking sweet. I liked all that, but I didn't love it, right? And like you said, everything that's come out, the majority of it has been mediocre to bad. Not great. Outside of the couple, your Shang-Chi's, your WandaVisions. I liked Eternals a lot.
Loki was really good.
Did you? And we talked about this in our ranking, Disney Plus ranking. I liked Loki. I liked it, but I think it derailed in the last 2 episodes. I feel like they were trying to put. I feel like if they stretched it just a little bit, I would have called it a solid show. I would be like, this is a really good show. That's what I would have called it. But
And the thing is,
because
Moon Knight, and like whenever you talk about a
Moon
show like,
Knight,
if you show like a show like Moon Knight, it's something that nobody really like. Let's be honest, unless you're an avid like comic book collector and all this other stuff, you don't really know about Moon Knight.
well, no
So
one knew about
nobody,
Iron Man either,
I get it, but nobody knew about Moon Knight,
right?
and everybody's like, no, I just, and people are spoiled whenever it comes to watching these things. They want their regular characters. They want their Black Panthers. They want their they want their Captain Americas. They want all these things. And it's like, well, I also see Marvel's side of it where they're like, no, we're trying to introduce new people. We're trying to introduce these new things. Well, the way you're introducing these new people has been garbage. Like,
And where's it going?
yeah, and where's it going? Because, you know, you've got these, they came out with, on Comic-Con with the layout for these films. The only one that I'm excited about, two. There's two that I'm excited about. That's Secret Wars and Fantastic Four.
I agree with you on one of those.
Avengers, I'm like, you know, and we'll get into it later.
Yeah.
But it's like,
yeah, we'll get into future stuff here in a minute. But like,
yeah.
where like Ant-Man Quantumania was the last project to come out.
Mhm.
And we got Guardians 3 coming up in a few days, and which I'm seeing Thursday. Wes, you're seeing it Tuesday.
I'm seeing it Tuesday, and we're gonna do it Tuesday night, just so we're on a regular schedule, and it will be spoiler alerts, just so you guys know. So, and we're gonna talk about stuff beforehand, but we're gonna do that. Okay. So,
sorry, Paramadia dropped this in the live chat. Breaking news: the runtime for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is reportedly 2 hours and 20 minutes, which makes it the longest animated Hollywood Studios film. That's interesting. If that's true, yeah. Paramadia, that's interesting. I can't wait for Spider-Verse, man. That movie's gonna be dope. That's gonna be dope.
Awesome.
But then again, Wes, the problem. So I bought a new TV last week, and my other one broke. It was 75-inch Samsung QLED television.
Would you stop flexing?
I'm flexing just a little bit. Anyhow, it broke. So I bought a new one. Wife let me, she was like, look, your birthday's coming up. It's been a while since you got something. You need a new TV. I'm like, baby, I accept. And I went and bought one.
I'm sure you did.
Bought another Samsung. It's a great TV. Another 75-inch, another QLED. It's a great. It's just a newer version of what I had. Well,
this going anywhere?
Yes. So one of the films I like popping on for a little audio check, a little color, like make sure my color's right, because I don't like to turn on a TV and just go. Like I gotta do my color calibration. Gotta make sure my blacks are where they need to be. Gotta make sure my colors are where they need to be. Where is everything popping? Right. Let me make sure everything's good. So I popped on Infinity War. Watched Infinity War for about 20 minutes. Next thing I know, Thanos is sitting in his garden. In credits. And I'm like, well, there went my Tuesday night. And then I was like, you know what? It's been a minute since I watched Endgame. It's only been about a month. Let me watch Endgame again. So I popped on a few minutes of Endgame, ended up rewinding it all the way to the beginning, watching the whole thing. I'm watching Endgame, Wes, and all I could feel is so much. I feel the same. Am I hooting and hollering in the living room as I was in the theater? No. But I still feel that satisfaction,
raw emotion.
I feel that raw emotion that I felt the opening night when I went and watched Endgame. I still felt that because of the story, because of where everything was leading to, because of the character and the narrative. Now, is Endgame a perfect movie? No, but the way it brought all the previous 20 some odd films together, I think was fantastic. And Wes, ever since Endgame, it feels like it felt like this, and maybe I'm wrong. And if given the opportunity, maybe I can ask Kevin Feige. I don't know. It's not like I have his number or anything, but it kind of goes like this. It felt like after Endgame, and you let me know if you feel this way, or maybe I'm overthinking it. It seemed like after Endgame, what was the next film? Far From Home, Spider-Man Far From Home. Far From Home came out, and which I liked. I really did. I really thought Far From Home was quite solid. Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, like I loved all of it, right?
Right.
Far From Home was good. After that, where were we going? Where it felt like Kevin Feige was like, now we have the trust of the audience for 20
Mm-hmm.
some odd movies. Now let's try something new, which I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is that you've done it for 3 years in a row. and
Right.
now it's time to course correct. Part of this problem, to be fair, even though it's going to sound like we're crapping on Marvel, to be fair, I think a lot of this issue, not all, but a lot of this issue I hate sound like a broken record, man, but I think some of it leads to Bob Chapek, because he put a guy over Kevin Feige. He put a guy over Kevin Feige to say, no, this is what's going to Disney Plus. This is what's going to be a movie. This is going to be its release date. This is going to be how much episodes this is going to have. This is going to be this and this and this and this and this. And it's, Wes, do you think that posed any issues? Like, what do you think were the main causes of the potential downfall? And look, let's just call it what it is. It has been a setback. All we've gotten outside of your WandaVision, Shang-Chi, stuff like that, has been straight up mediocre BS. And Wes, what do you think? What do you think's contributing that the most?
So I honestly I couldn't agree with you more. I think that it's got to do with them putting somebody over Feige who has done more for like he's the one who gave us Endgame. He's the one who gave us Infinity War. He's the one who gave us the lineup for that whole thing. And now
Yep.
you're going to tell somebody who brought you more money than you'll you know what I'm saying, that, oh well, actually I'm here to micromanage you and tell you what you're going to do, instead of being like, you know what, seems to me like you got it, I'm going to let you go. You know what I mean? I'm going to let you fly. But no, you're going to put somebody over top of me to micromanage me. I mean, it's sort of like, okay, well, I really don't want to blame Kevin Feige for this, but at the
I
same
think some
time,
of it's his problem.
guess guess who's the face? Guess who the face is? Yeah, see, 80s kid said, ding, 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 we have a winner. JPEG was a terrible leader. Yes, he was. But now Kevin Feige's trying to fix all of it, and he's like, oh shit, he messed it up so much that he can't. Like, he can't.
Yeah.
He can, and we're gonna get into what we think.
But to be
can
fair,
fix it.
a lot of this stuff. It felt like it. But to be fair, Wes, Kevin Feige had all these plans. Like, he had Moon Knight planned. He had She-Hulk in the back of his head. Was it announced? Not yet. But all that stuff was in development before Bob Chapek took over. So that's why I say part of this is Kevin Feige. But also, what I think, because Kevin Feige, he's smart. I still trust him. Do I think, or do Wes and I think both, that do we think Marvel's in trouble? No, I don't think Marvel's in trouble.
No, I don't.
But if they continue, but if they do, let's say 2 or 3 more years of this, we could be in some serious trouble, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're on the right path. I think they're going to course correct with Guardians. Because, man, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I have not been excited for anything MCU. Like, we had She-Hulk. What was the last MCU show we had? Was it She-Hulk?
It was She-Hulk.
Was that the last show? Disney Plus show?
It was No, it was Miss Marvel, and I didn't.
No, Miss Marvel first, and then it was She-Hulk.
Yeah,
and then
that's right.
And then it was Wakanda Forever.
Doing it.
Right, and then Nothing Was Through the Winter. And then Secret Invasion was supposed to come out, and then it got delayed a little bit. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that they done in the Disney. Like, it's felt like even the Disney Plus shows, everything after Endgame felt like its own thing, and I don't like that. That's not that. That doesn't feel like MCU. It feels like you might as well just ended the MCU after Endgame. Just end it, and just be like, Kevin Feige, I'm done. I'm gonna go off and do something else. But instead, you're gonna go off and do something. With these other things, with these other projects, they're feeling like different things, but they're going to go, oh, it's all in the multiverse. And I think that's such a cop out, man. That's such a cop out to go, oh, oh, we're just wait. Just wait. We're we're gonna fix it with Secret Wars, or oh, it is leading up to something. And I mean, I liked Miss Marvel. I mean, I got a kick out of it. Did I love it? Like, was it WandaVision? No, but I liked Miss Marvel. I did not like She-Hulk. I liked like the first 2 or 3 episodes. Then Megan Thee Stallion comes on, and I'm like, what are we watching? Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
that's what somebody said
I
earlier.
love
I
Megan
can't
Thee,
remember who
man.
said it,
I
but
love Megan Thee,
one
but let me
one of them
tell you,
said they liked the first 3 episodes. I think it was Paramedian. Was it?
was it
Which
Pyramidea?
I think one of them was like, I like the three
But you're right
first
though.
3 episodes, and I like, yeah, and I mean, I like the first 3 episodes,
Right.
and then I was like, this show is awful.
It's like, what's
Like,
going on?
it's
But
so
that's what
bad.
I'm saying is, why does it sting like Moon Knight? Dude, if they and you and I talked in the was were we recording then? Were we talking about Moon
Yep,
Knight before?
yep.
You and I talked about, dude, they have a lot to do before the finale. I hope they can do this. I hope they can do that. Right?
Mhm.
And they didn't. And we were like, oh, this sucks. Why is this happening? Right?
Mhm.
And the same thing with She-Hulk. They could have ended on such a high note, but they ended up taking this weird spiral. Geek Ledger, thanks, man, for coming back. It's been awesome. Thank you for returning. I think you were here in the last stream. But Wes, what are some other factors that have went into this? Like what are some key things? Because to me, I feel like writing is the biggest thing. The writing and the direction.
Yeah,
Not necessarily
that's
the
what I was gonna say.
directors, but the steering of the ship as I'm not saying every single line of dialogue has to connect to the other thing, right? I'm not saying everything has to tie back to Iron Man 1, 2008. I'm not saying everything has to tie into the little piece of dialogue that Captain America says in Winter Soldier. I'm not saying all that, but give me something. Give me something that goes, okay, this takes place in this universe. Because Wes, there's a planet-sized alien in the ocean
Hmm.
from
And
Eternals.
nobody said a word about
Not
it.
a word. Now,
Not a
up until only She-Hulk was the only other project that mentioned it, because it's in the newspaper. Because if you look on the side, it says when she's at
Mhm.
her laptop at home, and it says the something sticking out of the ocean. Like, that's the only
Yeah.
thing. And to me, it's just it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And then we get Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Now, okay, I don't like giving people a reason to do certain, like, I don't like giving people excuses to do certain things. I don't like doing that. But I think you and I will agree on this. But you let me know what you think. Black
I
Panther:
would if
Wakanda,
you'd let me talk,
if I
but
let you talk. But Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was such, it could have been amazing. And look, with T'Challa's passing, with with Chadwick Boseman's passing, which was severely unfortunate, gone way too soon.
R.I.P. man.
Had him still be alive, I think we would have had a fantastic movie.
Hmm.
But because he died, and they had to course correct, essentially, because you have a film, because sequels without the main protagonist tend to not do well. And Wes, that just became real prevalent to me, that, so I give Black Panther a little bit of a I give Black Panther a little bit of a, like, I'm not gonna mention that one, because that one, I legitimately think if Chadwick Boseman was still alive for that one, I think that would have been fantastic. I think, just imagine the T'Challa versus Namor interaction. I think that would have been incredible. But Wes, what are some of your key points, um, other factors of why this thing has been going downhill?
I mean, just like you said, the direction and um the way that people are yeah, not people, but the way things are being, like Miss Marvel was, I thought it was awful. Like, and I know it's supposed to be um geared towards, the younger teenage, preteen stuff. I get that. I get that. But um, you you write these shows, and you know that people like us are gonna watch it. You have to have some sort of reality to know, like, I can't have that every bit of it being just teenage humor. I can't do that. You know what I mean? And then, you've got
It's very
She-Hulk,
niche.
which
Very
and
niche.
you've got like, I mean, what did I tell you? Whenever we did our reviews on it, I was like, this is like the Lizzie McGuire of fucking sorry, Lizzie McGuire of comic book heroes. I mean, that's exactly what it felt like to me. And I was like, this is awful. And then,
Which
we
I
watched She-Hulk.
liked. I liked, but
We're not going to talk about what you like.
I
So, then, you've got She-Hulk, which, the first 3 episodes, I was like, okay, this could be very good.
I was
And then
interested.
it just
I was
went
intrigued.
off the rails because I was like, okay, like she's breaking the fourth wall. That's really cool. The only other person to do that is who? Deadpool, which was amazing. And then you've got her breaking the fourth wall, but then she's telling you about her love life. It was nothing but about her love life, and Daredevil looked awful. You know what I mean? Like I
The
like
suit wasn't amazing, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I did like Charlie Cox back as Daredevil. I thought that was a lot of fun.
no, that was great, but just the way they made him out, like all he wants to do is date She-Hulk. Like,
There's a
anyway,
lot of
like
misfires with
there's a
She-Hulk.
lot there's
That
a lot of stuff that just shouldn't be in there. But
She-Hulk
and
was the
then
first show that I loved at first, and then I haven't had a show the other Disney Plus Marvel shows.
Nickelodeon humor, yeah, exactly.
Yes, how quick that show
Yep.
just derailed.
Oh, we're trying to be DC
Like
with
She-Hulk
their,
just
with their
tanked.
shows.
And yeah, and we'll catch up on all these when we're done.
We are.
Well,
We'll
yeah,
catch
we'll
up to
catch
you
up.
guys. I promise. We're
But
gonna go
no,
back to y'all. I promise.
She-Hulk was
So
the first Marvel Disney Plus show that I like. Falcon and Winter Soldier, I liked, but I slowly started to go, it could have been better, right? It could have been better. Loki, same thing. I really liked, and then it was like, okay, it could have been better. It could have ended this better. It could have ended this better. Miss Marvel, I liked pretty much solidly all the way through. Right, I liked it. Moon Knight, I really, really, really liked it. And then it slowly started to dip off. She-Hulk, dude, first episode, I'm like, I'm in. Like, this is fantastic.
yeah,
And then it was just, I mean, just such a quick decline. I haven't
Mhm.
had that feeling in a Marvel Disney Plus show yet. Now, WandaVision, it was up and up and up and up and up all the way through the finale. And I heard a lot of people dogging the finale. I liked the finale. I thought it did everything a finale should do. It done everything a finale should do. I thought it was incredible. It brought a lot of heart. It brought a lot of emotion. Brought a lot of sadness. It brought a lot of significant amount of action. It
Mhm.
had two visions fighting against each other, not only with fists, but like with their intellect. I thought that was cool. Like what WandaVision set the standard. Why in the world had no other show top that is beyond me. Now that's the Disney Plus shows. Wes, what do you think about the movies? Because
So let's get into the movies. So you're talking after Endgame, and you're talking. I did like I apologize. I did forget about Spider-Man. Spider-Man, I really enjoyed Spider-Man. Like I really enjoyed that one. But Shang-Chi, I
I
that movie, that was
it's
so much fun
fantastic.
for
The
me.
bus fight
It was
alone,
great. Yes,
it's
the
awesome.
bus fight alone was great. Then you've got the Eternals. I like the Eternals, but it wasn't my favorite. Now, is it a bad movie? No, it's not. But then you come to
Could have been
something
better.
like a Love and Thunder. You know what I mean? Or and like you said, Black Panther, I'm gonna give kind of like
Give
not a
that one a little
pass, but
pass. Yeah.
a pass because the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, and I think that they did a great job, paying homage to him through that film. But what else were they supposed to do? You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So, that one we're gonna
I will.
toss that.
Well, wait.
What
You brought it when you brought Wakanda Forever. I want to say you brought it up. Wakanda Forever, I think, has been. Let me see if this makes sense. Has been the best post Endgame, most solid film out of, I would say, the majority of the rest of them. Even though I didn't like it as much, but as like technically a film, like from a technical standpoint, like it had its villain, it had its beginning, middle, and end, it had its story arc, it had it like all of that. I thought was quite solid. It's a solid movie.
Yeah,
But a
no,
lot
it's a
of the
solid movie.
creative choices I thought was, but that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me.
And then going back to Love and Thunder. Um, for me, it's like I get it, Tika Waititi. Like you're funny. You have these things. Like it's, but it was overkill. It was too much like trying to be funny all the time. And like for me, and screw it, we're gonna get into how we think that they could make this better. You have the Avengers that are technically like no more. Captain America's gone, Iron Man's gone. Who do you have left to become a leader of this
Yeah.
Avengers group that has been there from the beginning and been like somebody that you could look at and say, you know what? He's a leader. Do you get what I'm saying? Who would that be? For me, and for who I think, it should be Thor, right? So what I thought this film was going to do is bring him to the forefront of being like, okay, and what they should have done is said, yes, Thor can be this funny little character and blah blah blah, but Thor can step up and become the leader that we need for the Avengers to come up to come and gravitate to be the leader to fight Kang in these Avengers movies.
Right.
And instead they made him a comedic a comedic just dummy, and it just made me really really mad. I was just like, I don't understand why they're doing this. Yes, did I laugh at some of the parts? Yeah, you know what I mean? Did I do stuff like that? But you like Thor should have become the definitive leader of that. You know what I mean? And that's what I think. And that's just my personal opinion. But who better to step up and lead the pack than Thor? And then you've got, your Multiverse of Madness, which, not gonna lie, I really enjoyed Multiverse of Madness just because of Sam Raimi. Like I love horror movies, and you could just tell that that was a Sam Raimi movie. But at the same time, it's like kind of the storytelling and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's
But
like, what's the state of the Avengers, right? That's another thing is you have the MCU built around the Avengers. Now, I'm not saying the Avengers is not it's not a be all end all, but that's what you've built the first 4 phases about. It's about the Avengers. It's about this team coming together as a team and what that means, right? And it comes to show that, like you said, it took out 3 main hitters in one movie, and to me, I think was a bad call. I honestly do. Be not a bad call for in-game's part. I'm talking about for the future, right? Because a good writer is going to write a good script, and that brings one of the problems with a multi-film like in the same universe is you're going to face a lot of script issues. And Wes, you and I have said before, why don't they do one-off stories like they've done with Joker? Why not? I
right,
even think the Guardians 1 is almost an even a standalone film outside of its direct relationship with the Infinity Stones, right? Or well, yeah, 2 Infinity Stones because the Reality Stone pops up, I think, and the Power Stone. But it comes to show like look, it's this is what it is. And what's the status of the Avengers? What's Falcon going to do against Kane? What's it going to throw his shield? What
right,
what's
right.
Falcon going to do against the judge from Eternals? What's he going to do to a Celestial? Oh, I'm Hawkeye. I'm gonna shoot with my arrow. What?
Right.
What is? And they neutered Hulk. They basically cut his balls off and threw him in the river.
My other point. That was going to be my other point.
And that's the 4. That's 4 hitters.
And that's 4. And that's my point. Like, so,
Yeah.
with Thor, you would have been able to believe, and you can't tell me otherwise. You would have been able to believe that Thor could face a Celestial and actually come out on top.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He is a god. So
Hulk has god powers.
Hulk has god powers. So you're like, you just made him into a comedic dummy.
I love Mark Ruffalo, but
and Doctor Strange, he wasn't an original. So now what are you going to do? You know what I mean? Like now, what are you going to do? Because
What's Mark
I
Spector going
mean,
to do
he's
against Galactus?
right. So what are
know?
you going to do? So like my whole thing in this is like, what are you going to do now? Because these new characters, I don't believe at all are going to have a shot
Mm-mm.
at 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 a celestial or at Kang for that matter.
And Kev,
I mean, the only
yeah,
one that I think now is like, okay, well, let's figure out what the hell Loki's going to do. Like, and maybe you're right. Maybe whenever we go see Guardians of the Galaxy, something will be established. And maybe something will be established there, and maybe in this Secret Wars, something will be established in that in order for us to get a good enough reality where we're like, okay, this is believable, because right now it's not believable to me. You know what I
right.
mean?
And
Um,
and that's the thing.
so
Like it feels like how does Moon Knight at all tie in with Shang-Chi? Lit virtually nothing. How does Iron Man 1 tie into Captain Marvel? Oh, well, quite comparatively actually. Because at the end of Iron Man 1, you had Nick Fury come in and say, I want to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative. But in Captain Marvel, he is the one who even named the Avenger Initiative after Captain Marvel, the Avenger. So there's a direct correlation there, right? There's a direct lineage there between Captain Marvel, the movie, and Iron Man 1. But how does Miss Marvel tie into the Eternals? Nothing. How does
mhm.
Moon Knight tie into She-Hulk? Nothing. Like there's nothing there. And that's what I'm talking about is what do we do? What story are we telling?
And
Now
the only thing that can like tie in right now to anything would be the end of Shang-Chi whenever they look into his
yes. Like
rings
what is
and
it
they
calling? What's
and
it
the
calling out
beacon.
to?
What's it calling out to? Now, that's the only thing that I see from these past movies or TV shows for that matter that is going to tie into anything that has to do with that could tie into anything, unless they're like, oh well, we forgot about that, my bad. you know
I think, and also, I know we're 15 years into the MCU. It'll be 15 years today into the MCU. I feel like it's too soon, man. It's too soon to do away with your core Avengers. What they should have done is built those other characters up first. Build Miss Marvel up first. Build Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop up first.
Mhm.
Build these other characters up first. It's too soon to. You took out. I know I said three earlier, but you took out four main hitters. You took out Iron Man. You took out Captain. I about to say Captain Widow. You took out Iron Man. You took out Captain America. He's retired. He's probably on the moon somewhere. You took out Black Widow, and you took out the Hulk in Infinity War. Four. Four hitters, and he didn't do crap in Endgame. Do away with that smart Hulk stuff. Now,
Mhm.
now, now we griped, we complained, we moaned. Wes, here's how they can fix it. And I'm going to shock everybody. I think they're already doing it. I might eat my words here in a few months, or in maybe this time next year. I might eat my words, but you mark it right now. I think we're on the road to success, and here's why. Here's why. They remember how I just asked you all ago. That was actually a trick question when I said that She-Hulk was when was the last Disney Plus show? It was She-Hulk. They took a pause in their release schedule because guess who's back in town? Bob Iger. He's back. Took out that idiot over Kevin Feige and basically gave him back control of what he had before. If it's broken, don't fix it, dude. The guy's bringing you $2 billion movies. Why ruin it? Oh, well, let's just come out with Quantumania anyway. Oh, let's come out with Doctor Strange anyway. Oh, what Doctor Strange made it made a profit, by the way. Doctor Strange made a lot of money. Eternals was the first considered like big like flop, right? Like post like when the MCU was like super huge. Like it wasn't Like, I liked it. Did it deserve that low rating? I don't think so. I don't think it's that bad. I think Eternals is quite good. But you have Eternals in there, which is great. But I'm telling you right now, I think they started the path to success already. I'm hearing Secret Invasion is fabulous. I'm hearing great things about that. Um, I think I do. I legitimately think that we're on the road to success already. I think that we are getting there. I don't think the MCU's on quote unquote trouble. And I don't think that they should be reactionary. There was a time when Warner Brothers, when DC would come out with a movie, good or bad, they would be so reactionary. It was like they had um, a panic attack just because something went good or bad. And they're like, this worked. Let's change something. Or this went bad. Let's change something. It's like, no, stick to the plan, stick to the course, go from there. And Kevin Feige's all about that. So I think we're on the road to success. They already announced that, I think it was unofficial, but it's pretty obvious by this point. They're slowing down on the release. No. Yeah, it was announced. Bob Iger said that. Bob Iger said, look, we're going to slow down, right? We're going to slow down. He didn't say like exactly specifically like what, but he basically said, we're going to calm down on the sequels. We're going to calm down on and then he announced more sequels. But I think what he was getting at was Marvel. I think he's like, look, we're going to slow down the Disney Plus Marvel shows. We're going to slow down on the movies. I think 3 is good. I think 3 is a good, solid amount.
Yeah, but and this goes back to something that I think Paramadia had mentioned earlier on in the chat, like way earlier on, and we're going to go back to everybody's stuff. After we get done
keep dropping in comments,
this.
by the way.
Yeah, keep dropping them in. But I think they said that basically, they're giving us way too much, way too fast. So, but with you saying that, I remember him coming out and being like, "Hey, we're going to slow this stuff down," which is good because I agree with what Paramadia said is basically they were giving us way too much, way too quick, and we're like all over the place, like a cat looking at a laser. You know what I'm saying? Like what is going on?
Out,
you know what I'm saying? And then they're also in that same sense when they're making these movies, they're like, oh shit, like we gotta go, like and it's like, no, like slow down, make something great.
Yes.
Because what we've been putting out, it has not been.
The quantity over quality needs to be reversed.
Correct.
That needs to be reversed. That needs to be reversed because at the time they were doing 2 movies a year. Then they went to 3 movies a year. Then they went to 3 movies and like 6 Disney Plus shows. And it's like, what? Like it's too much. It's too much. Because what they're doing is they're running back before Disney Plus was even a thing, Kevin Feige was sweating balls going, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to get to my next meeting. I got to do this and this and this and this, right? Mm-hmm. He came out and said all that, right? To a pundit. So it goes to show you how incredibly important it is for Kevin Feige hitting his mind to stay sharp. And a lot of people saying that, well, maybe he's winding down. I don't think so. I think Kevin Feige is going to stay a bit longer. Do I see him moving soon? When I say soon, he's not going to start this new saga and then leave before the saga's over. So I'm going to give it at least till Secret Wars. Or sorry, what's the last film? Is it Kang Dynasty or Secret Wars? What's the last one in Phase 5? I think he said it's going to end with one of those. It's one of those 2, but I can't remember which 5
what
or 6.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about shows or are you talking about movies? Movies is going to be the Kang Dynasty number 2 or whatever. Like
Secret Wars
number 2.
Yeah, it's Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Yeah, Secret Wars number 2. Yeah, that's the second one.
Is that going to be the okay? So Secret Wars is going to cap off Phase 5. I think if anything, Kevin Feige.
I'm gonna check that before.
No, you're good. But I think that's kind of what's coming up there. Is I think that's going to be about the time when that's creeping up closer. I think that's about the time we're going to hear if Kevin Feige is going to move or not. But that's just my opinion. By the way, I'm going to take just a second. We're going to finish off here. If you've been watching this, you've been liking this content, if you haven't already, please drop a like in there. It would be greatly appreciated. We got a lot of y'all in the chat firing off, talking amongst yourselves, dropping us
comments. Thank you guys for
Yeah.
dropping them and doing all that. So,
and we're going to catch up with all these, by the way. We're going to catch up with all of them. So continue to drop those for a few more minutes. And we're going to go back and go through and talk about all those. So drop your comments and things. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we are also streaming to Twitch as well. So go follow us there. And drop a like and sub here on YouTube if you like the content, and let us know what you like about our channel, and maybe what are some things we can do better moving forward, and all that kind of stuff. So, West, were you able to find out that about?
I think 80s Kid had it. He said it was Secret Wars.
Yeah, I thought Secret Wars was last, and yeah, I think that'd be about the time where we're gonna hear that. Hey, this is gonna be when about the time Kevin Feige steps off to do his thing. But I honestly think I feel better about the future of the MCU than I did before. Like, I haven't felt this good about the MCU since I'd say last year. I know it's sad, but it's been that long, but it's true, because I love looking forward to this stuff. I'm marveled out. I got the Marvel tattoos. I got the y'all don't see it, but I got the crap on my desk. I got the comics. I got the hot toys. Like, I love Marvel, but I'm very critical about the things I love too. And they've been on decline. And y'all heard how much I raved about Iron Man, how much I loved it, and they got to come in, and it seems like they're treating a baby almost like it's nothing. And it breaks my heart, because it's like, no, you need to treat this with the utmost respect. And it feels like something, as the empire that it is, the MCU, should be respected as such. But
Well, so movie wise, it's going to be Secret Wars. But releasing after that, it looks like in December is going to be Spider-Man: Craven's Last Hunt. It will be.
Well, Craven's going to be a Sony film.
I don't give a damn. Still the last film. Still in the MCU.
No.
Shut the fuck. I can't.
It's going to be rated R, by the way. But no, and
Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man: Craven's Last Hunt.
Craven's not part of the MCU. That's part of Sony's own universe.
Okay, I'm just telling you what's on there.
I know. Anyhow, I really do, Wes. I really do feel good about the MCU. And when I started feeling better about it is when Bob Iger came back. When Chapek was gone, Bob Iger came back. That's when I started feeling better. And then he came out with that article. It was all over the major trades, where it was during that investors meeting, I believe it was, where he was like, look, we're going to cut back on some of these things. The creatives are back in control, yada, 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 yada. So there's a lot of that going on, and I can't wait. I'm very, very, very excited for the future of the MCU. I think we're there, but if we see another year of this, you're gonna have to go several projects in a row to be bad, and to start seeing a decline in profit. Like, their profit hasn't been as good as it has in the past, but it's been pretty good. I mean, they've still been making money. Quantumania,
they're on 2 strikes right now.
Quantumania did not make them money.
No, I ain't talking about that's strike 3 then. I was talking about like Miss Marvel's, She-Hulk.
Well, you can't count Disney Plus shows, because that doesn't give them revenue. The Disney Plus shows do not give them revenue. What makes that money back?
Revenue. I'm talking about like just.
Well, I know, but if a show's successful, they're going to continue to do it. But the way that makes money is our subscription to Disney Plus. I'm talking about the movies. If the movies start tanking, it's going to be bad juju. So, what do y'all chat? What do y'all contribute to the MCU's downfall since Endgame? Do you think it's been a downfall since Endgame? This is all subjective. Wes and I just tend to agree on this topic. I thought we'd be a little more divisive, but we seem to be pretty much on the same page. What do y'all think about this diversion, in course correction? Do you think that Marvel's back on the right track? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and jump up all the way through the chat here, Wes, and we're going to talk and take all y'all's comments up to
where I did the puking emojis is where I'm at.
The ding ding ding.
No, puking emojis it's way up there.
Is it?
I think so. You want me to go with it?
1 second. Oh, when you sent it?
Yeah.
Yes. Then yes. Yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
All right. So Paramadia says She-Hulk had potential. I enjoyed first 3 episodes, which we said. I told you. I was like, I think one of them said that. which we both did. I think that's whenever after that third episode we were like, yeah, I'm done. And then 80s Kid says, what happened to Marvel? Was it D plus? I suggest Feige is the wizard from Wizard of Oz. Nice. Both DC and Marvel have been hit or miss, from Paramedium.
Well, to be fair, Marvel, as of lately, yes. I mean, you're absolutely right. But the difference in DC is DC never had a plan. they were just like, oh, let's just come out with stuff, and
they're just winging it.
Here it is. Wonder Woman 84 was an atrocity. I did not like, man. I love the first Wonder Woman film. The second one, my goodness gracious. All right, Wes, what's next?
80s Kid sends these in. Miss Marvel was great. Anyway, Loki was awesome. I liked Quantumania. And then it says Kang was super cool. I have the Funko Pop, and I'm planning on getting the Marvel Legends figure too. It's too bad what's going on with Jonathan Majors right now. Okay, let's talk about it.
Sorry,
I've been wanting to talk about this.
You're good. No. You go ahead and keep talking. I'm gonna fix something right here.
Okay, so I've wanted to talk about this for a minute. Gabe's like, I don't really want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it. So that's one of the biggest fears that I have right now, is the fact that Jonathan Majors has been accused of all these things, and nothing's been said. Now, me and Gabe kind of talked about it last night, and for me, it's either going to be a Ray Rice situation where they got proof and, all this stuff, because I know that whenever they came out with the allegations, more and more women were coming up and saying that stuff had happened. And then you've got, all like his PR is dropping him. There's a bunch of things that are dropping him. But the thing is, Disney's kept silent about it. And Gabe's got had a good point that they're either keeping quiet because they want to wait until, they want to wait until basically he's either proven guilty or that he's innocent, and they're just like, okay, well, no, we're good. Like, this is what's happening. But if Jonathan Majors did have something happen, that's going to be a huge problem for Disney. That is a huge problem for Disney, because they've already paid the man for his films. They've paid the man for his films, and now you've got two movies coming out. At least a good
chunk of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got two movies coming out that are based on his character. So they're going to have to retract everything if he, I think that they're going to have to. I mean, what else are they going to do? Because then they're just going to put a bad taste in people's mouth if he is convicted of these things, or if that stuff did happen. So it's just it's either going to be a wash situation, or it's going to be a bad situation. You know what I mean?
And that's what you and I had kind of talked about off air. Was you and I talked the past couple weeks about this situation, and I told you, look, if they come out tomorrow and say, look, they have substantial proof that all this, we can do away with it. We got proof that we can move forward, and Jonathan Majors is innocent, blah, 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 blah. We'll all forget about this in a couple weeks. But the fact that they stated already, the defense stated already that they have substantial proof that he's innocent, and then it's been how many weeks since then? Nothing? That has me worried. Yeah. That makes me think the prosecution still has something they can use. Yeah. And all I'm saying is that,
this is situation, son.
It's not good. It's not good at all. And if anything, it's actually horrible. So it's like I said, it's down to how are we going to move forward in the sense of, it's become a problem at this point. I just hope that it's not true, right? With all that stuff, I hope it's not true. I'm just saying, with the amount of time that's going on, it's bad. Now the movie, stand leave that alone. Leave the movies out of it for a moment. That's not what it's about. That's not what's important. Well, like at the
Well,
end
of
of the day,
course.
what's
I mean, I
important
get
is
that.
right. But I'm just saying that, like, in all honesty, but this is what we talk about here. We talk about the movies, we talk about our fandom, and we talk about that. So in saying that of how serious it is, yes, Wes and I obviously we're like, we want the truth to be out. Like, did you do it or not? That affects the shows that you and I and our audiences watch, right? That affects what we watch. So we're going to talk about it. But at the end of the day, the more time that goes on, man, without us hearing anything, I mean, I guess no news is good news. No news is good news, but this doesn't
It
seem
doesn't
to
feel like it.
no. And this could be a nut. And the reason Wes brought it up is this could potentially drive a huge wedge in the future of the MCU, right? Because
Mhm.
like you said, they already made 3 films if you include Quantumania, and not including like he's going to pop up in Loki season 2 apparently.
Has to.
So, well, there's a post credit scene in Quantumania that basically confirmed he's gonna pop up.
Mm.
Um, and and now they got Kang Dynasty, and obviously he's gonna show up in Secret Wars. Well, I mean, not obviously, but it's pretty safe to say that he's the main villain. So I don't know. We'll just have to see. Let us know what your thoughts about this about the whole Jonathan Major stuff. Do let us know what you think. All right,
All
Wes,
right.
what is next? Sorry, guys. I tried to do a little something, tried to make it a little easier for you guys to see. So I do apologize for that, but I appreciate y'all's patience and indulgence as we kind of go through. We'll figure out a different way to do this moving forward. But Wes, where are we at here?
So it says 80s Kid says, "What about Guardians 3? Here it's more sad than Toy Story 3. I hope not. Um, Endgame was a solid ending. Far From Home was okay." Hmm.
Yeah, well, I'll start with your first comment there. What about Guardians 3? I hear it's more sad than Toy Story. I'm hearing I'm just hearing good things. That's all I care about. I don't need to
Mhm.
cry for a movie to be good, right? I just want
Right.
it to be good. I trust James Gunn. I trust the direction he's taking with DC. I think he's going to make any studio, but in this case, DC. I think he's going to make DC a better studio. I think he's done great with the Guardians movies, even though I didn't love 2 as much as I loved 1. Like I liked 2, but I didn't love it. Endgame was a solid ending. Far From Home was okay. I really enjoyed Far From Home. I thought a lot of the Tom Holland stuff was great. I thought him and Zendaya's relationship or chemistry, I should say, was better in this movie than it was in Homecoming. I will say it was a lot better in that film, for an example. And Endgame was obviously fantastic. Um, and I think we already read that one with the ding ding
Yep, we
JPEG.
did.
All right, what's next?
Like I told you, like remember Dia said, didn't we have like 10 projects in one year in 2021 or 2022? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. Miss
Yes.
80s Kid says Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, and Moon Knight could have been better as movies.
Well, Wes, I'll let you take that
Probably.
one first.
I mean, I agree. I loved Hawkeye and I really liked Moon Knight, and I personally agree with that. But I understand why they made them into um Disney shows. So,
80s,
um,
yeah.
but
Sorry, Wes, I didn't mean to cut you off.
you go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
Um, I don't know, 80s kid. I kind of disagree. I don't know about the argument between it could have been better as a movie or series because think about it. Think about it. To have a series versus a movie, you have more time to tell your story. You have more time to develop your characters. You have more time to, the writer has more breathing room. Think about it. A show, like in this case, the let's just say Moon Knight, for example. How many episodes was that? Like 6, 7? Let's say 6. I don't know, but let's say 6. And the episodes were, let's say, 30 minutes apiece. Okay, that's what? 4.5 hours? 4 hours?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, a movie you're looking at 2 to 2.5 hours. Okay, that means you're gonna have to tell your story. You have to introduce your character. You have to introduce your villain. You have to introduce the narrative. You have to introduce the like what's the story. You have to introduce all of that in the first 30 minutes. But in a show, you have a lot longer to kind of
Yeah.
do that. So I don't know if I agree with that 80s kid, but I see what you're getting at. I definitely see what you're coming from. All right.
Um, the Geek Ledger. I personally think the MCU could go on until at least the 2050s if Feige and Marvel Studios play their cards right. Agreed.
It's possible. Sorry, I'm
Agreed.
gonna.
And then 80s kid from the 80s kid says, I'm skeptical about Secret Invasion. It doesn't look anything like the comic. I mean, yeah.
But does it have to look anything like the comic, right? Because this is an adaptation. But if you like, because look, if it's an adaptation, if what you're looking at, if you're able to go, okay, that is obviously blank, then it done its course, right? Because the scrolls in the Captain Marvel, for example, they look just like they do in the comics. Is it like exactly how it is? No. But you could say the same thing about Wolverine. Wolverine's like 5'4" or 5'6" in the comics. Hugh Jackman's like 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, like, really? Does it matter if they have blue eyes? Does it matter if they have brown eyes? Well, that's not how it was in the comic. I don't. I'm not picking at you. I'm just saying, like, what's like, what does that mean though? You go. I'm getting at.
He also says Secret Invasion could have been the Invasion Saga, where we find out Tony and Steve are Skrulls as an end credit to Endgame. Not bad.
I don't even know where to begin, man. Secret Invasion could have been the Invasion Saga where we find out Tony's. I mean, but think about it. I don't think that would have boded well. Because you had all that heart and emotion going from Civil War straight into Infinity War, and then capping it off with Endgame. To go into Endgame going, oh, just kidding, they're a Skrull. I don't think that would bode too well. Oof. I don't know. But that's just me.
Geek Ledger, and before people say that's too long in one universe, look to Japan. They have film series spanning 50 years of films. That's You're totally correct.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
No, and that's and Geek Ledger, I know you're being a little facetious here, but I don't think that that's anyone's problem. We're not saying that, and I'm not saying you're saying this. I'm just talking. Is Wes and I are saying, okay, it has to hit this number of films, and then that's it. All I was saying was it felt like if I knew we were getting the quality of content post Endgame, I would have rather them just end it after Endgame and then just start fresh. Start with a new Iron Man, start with a new Captain America, start with a new Thor, start with a new Hulk, right? So that's kind of where I was going with that. But that's, like I said, that's just my opinion. Wes, if you have anything to add to that.
Nah, I'm good with it. Paramedia, the MCU series were so unnecessary. I loved Loki and liked WandaVision a lot, but I still don't think we needed.
Oh, but I think you mixed a couple.
What?
80s kid, not a peep. I'm not sure what he means by that though. And then Geek
Because
Ledger.
we were saying not a peep about the big thing in the ocean.
Oh, gotcha.
I was above that. The MCU series were so unnecessary. I loved Loki and liked WandaVision, but I still don't think we needed them really. And yeah, I agree. Then the Geek Ledger, like Gojira, I think.
Gojira.
It's been around for 50 plus years in the same continuity. Or not counting the American movies.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and the MCU can certainly go that long. I'm not gonna lie. I hope they don't. I kind of want to see a different creator's version of Iron Man. A different Captain America. I want to see that in my lifetime. I don't see myself living another 50 years. So please give me another version. But that's just me. Wes, who is next there?
Paramedia, they kind of reiterated what they said before, and then said I would rather them made solo films for those characters.
A solo film for Loki, like I said, I liked Loki. I felt like as the episodes went on, I felt like it slowly started to tank. Like it wasn't the huge drop that She-Hulk had, where it was like I loved it and then straight down. It was like that for She-Hulk because I think you and I were even raving about She-Hulk, and then like literally the next episode, it was like we were both like,
we came in, and I was like, "What was that?"
We were like, I think one of us even texted each other too. Was like, "Did you watch She-Hulk?" And you're like, "Yeah," and it's like, "Okay, talk about it tomorrow." It's just like, yeah, very very cringe. Not the Not the best. What does Geek Ledger say there?
Says hot take. Marvel
Ooh.
Studios has been afraid to actually make TV shows. WandaVision was the only Disney Plus Marvel show that actually felt like a story meant for TV. The others felt like movies chopped up.
I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
I can see what you're saying. I don't know if that's necessarily a hot take though. I don't think it's that they're afraid to make TV shows. It's that I think they need to just put more creativity. They need to put more they need to they need to trust their content, trust their characters, and just trust their storytellers. Trust the script, right? If you think it's good enough to make Disney Plus or movie, then have the balls to do it. But I mean, I see what you're saying though. I see what you're saying. But yeah.
Yeah. So we read the other two comments from 80s Kid
Nickelodeon behavior.
Yeah. Geek Ledger, it's why I'm looking forward to Daredevil and actually 16 episode season, not this 6-episode TV movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For sure. I heard 16 episodes and I was like, thank God. Like, let's just like last it out for a little bit. Then Paradia said, Peacemaker is literally better than almost all, if not all the MCU shows. And I'm not over exaggerating or hating on Marvel. It's what I genuinely think.
Wes, let's take Geek Ledger's comment first. Kind of go with that. What are your thoughts about Daredevil? About it being, yes, it's going to be a longer series. Like with how many? It's going to have more episodes. But do you think it's a good thing?
No, I think it's a great thing. I think it's going to be a lot better because there's going to be a lot more storytelling I think it's going to be a lot more storytelling and not a lot of let's rush this thing and try to because like we said, whenever we were talking about Moon Knight, it's like, oh man, they got a lot of catching up to do if they're going to make this, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully whenever they do this, it will, go on and become a better all around, everything will be complete story. Do you know what I mean? Right. And they're not trying to rush a bunch of stuff, forgetting stuff that happened. You know what I mean? Like, because in Moon Knight, we were like, man, like they've got a lot of stuff they've got to like, close.
Right.
They got to close the story.
But if it's good though, do it. Because if we get 16 crappy episodes of Daredevil, you and I are going to be a very grouchy a duo that
real
day.
Pissed off.
We're going to be grouchy.
I know.
And by the way, I know we haven't talked about this yet, and we'll just get this out right quick. We're going to be doing, since we know we can do a live stream, we've been doing these videos for since last year. We took about a 5-month, 6-month hiatus, but we are back full time now, regularly, 3 days a week, sometimes more, depending on what we're doing. However, we are going to be doing like spoiler videos, like live discussions and things like that. So do keep an eye open for that when a new show comes out and things like that. Like weekly episode reviews, and then we'll talk about it and stuff like that. So be sure to keep that. And our first one will be Guardians Volume 3 next Tuesday. Check us out for that. But yeah, go ahead and what is next year?
Peacemaker, the Peacemaker one.
Oh yeah, dude. Wes and
Peacemaker, number two on my list for the one of the best shows.
Peacemaker,
number 2.
My wife,
love it.
She will watch anything with me. When I showed her the trailer to this, she's like, "I'm good. Like I'm not like you do, you boo, but I'm good." And I'm watching it, and as soon as like I knew, like I wasn't prepping myself up for like Godfather, right? But when I turned it on, and then all you hear is wigwam, and you hear the theme song, and I'm like, I'm in. I don't care what happens next. I am in.
Dude,
and then you like, get Eagly.
Bro, that was so great, dude.
They got Robert Patrick as his dad. It's fantastic.
Oh, I love it, dude. And the guy who plays what's the other guy on there? So great.
Steve Agee or Agee, something like that.
Yeah.
The bigger dude.
Great. No, I'm talking about like
what's his name? Chat, help us out here.
You know who I'm talking about.
He plays Vigilante.
Yeah, Vigilante, dude.
What?
Vigilante.
Oh, I'm trying to think of the
Great.
actor's name.
Oh, it's so good.
He's
He's so
so.
great.
Oh my god,
So good. So anyway,
it's
we
so good.
love that show. So I agree. Like complete. Like that's my number 2
And Wes and I talked about
favorite show.
that in our Peter
Love it.
Safran, James Gunn breaking news video when news came out that they were going to shepherd DC Studios. And Wes and I were like, look, all joking being aside, where's Peacemaker season 2?
Where's it at?
Let's get that
like
going.
Need it now.
We need it now.
So 80s
right.
Kids said WandaVision was fantastic.
I completely agree.
So many Mephisto theories.
Oh my god. It's Mephisto. Look right here.
He said Eternals was good.
It's Mephisto.
Thor 4, my reaction. Throw up
I liked Eternals. Yeah, Thor 4 was not great. I did laugh a couple times though. I thought
said I liked Quantumania.
Sorry, my favorite moment in Thor: Love and Thunder is when he's talking to I think he's talking to Korg about his hammer and Mjolnir. And then while he's like talking about how much he missed Mjolnir, like you see Stormbreaker.
Yeah. So good.
I thought that was funny. That was good.
Said I liked Quantumania.
Yeah.
Paramadia, Spider-Man No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Multiverse of Madness, and Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever are my personal favorites since Endgame.
Not bad choices.
Not bad choices at all.
I liked all those films. I mean, I definitely think out of the 4 you mentioned, other than Endgame, No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Multiverse of Madness, Wakanda Forever. Multiverse of Madness is probably, I'll probably put Wakanda Forever number 4, Multiverse of Madness 3. I'm gonna say it, man. Shang-Chi over No Way Home. I'm gonna say it. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the 3 Spider-Man coming together. I love all that. But as far as story, as far as like the technicality, like everything under the umbrella, while I might have had more fun with No Way Home, I thought Shang-Chi was a far better movie.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just my opinion.
80s Kid says Bucky is a leader. He should be Captain America.
Next.
No.
I'm just kidding. No. Look.
Paramadia said it for us. It's fine.
Paramadia said no. Look, 80s Kid.
Respectfully.
I see what you're saying. Bucky has... look, I'm going to say, I don't think he's quote unquote redeemed himself. I don't think Bucky is I don't think he's like noble now. I don't think, because he's good, that doesn't right the wrongs of what he's done. Like he's in serious dog doo-doo, right? With everything that he's done. And I'm glad we've seen some of that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And, there's a reason Steve gave Falcon the shield over Bucky. Now, would I give him the shield to any of them? Hell no. That shield belongs to Captain America, Steve Rogers is Captain America, is Steve Rogers is Captain America. You can give Falcon the shield all you want. And I know the chat might line me up for this. I don't care. This is our channel. We say what we think. But Wes, I don't know what you think about this, but I don't think the shield should go to either of them. Or the mantle. Like, give them the shield, that's fine, but the mantle, and that's a whole other discussion, but they're calling them that. It is what it is. But if it was up to me, no, it doesn't. And it's not about race. It's not about that crap. That's not what it's about. I love the Falcon character, but he's not Captain America. See what I'm saying?
No, Captain America's Captain America.
Right. But I get what they were going at, like in the show. Like, I really like that. I did. I really did. But that is that.
And then Paramadia disagreed.
Yeah, no.
I don't agree with 80s Kid. Respectfully. Yes, respectfully. Where's Iron Lad? Don't have a clue.
I hope we don't ever see it. So it's okay. Next.
They ruined
I'm just
Hulk.
kidding.
They ruined Hulk. Biggest crime in the MCU.
Agreed.
Biggest
crime. They neutered.
Geek Ledger prediction. I think Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars will be the last Avengers movies for a while. I think Phase 7 and 8 they'll move into X-Men movie team ups to cap each phase.
Oh, that's under Geek Ledger. I mean, that's great and all, but you're basing an if on an if on an if. Sorry, go ahead.
And then in Phase 9 they'll bring back Avengers movies to cap off the next saga.
Like I said, that's real cute and all, but you're basing an if on an if on an if on an if. you're basing the assumption that if the X-Men's coming in the MCU anytime soon, and if they're coming in soon, they're going to be doing some casting announcements because it takes a couple years to get this stuff rolling. And Kevin Feige done said very recently, "Hey, X-Men's still a couple more years out." His eyes aren't even on X-Men right now. Now they're going to do some teases, they're going to do some Easter eggs. Yeah, I get that. Because how many years have we been teased? And I mean, yeah, I make the argument that we did see Thanos a couple times, but we didn't really get Thanos until Infinity War. I think it's going to be the same thing with X-Men. I think they're going to tee it, and then boom, they're going to slap it right in our face. Maybe. But is what it is.
And then 80s Kid says, I say New Avengers, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Strange, Echo, Wolverine, Thing, Spidey, and War Machine.
Hey, I like your lineup, but I couldn't disagree more. I don't like the New Avengers, like any iteration. Wes, you see this: Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Strange, Echo, Wolverine, The Thing, Spidey, and War Machine. Now I do see War Machine being in the next lineup, like because right now we don't have an Avengers lineup. Yeah. I do think War Machine does belong in that lineup, and I do think Spider-Man's coming back. Obviously, well, I mean we don't know that, but I think Spider-Man will be back. War Machine will be in there. They're not touching Iron Fist. I ain't like with a 10-foot pole. I ain't touching that. They're gonna keep him on what's that dragon called, that mountain where he goes to get his power? Luke Cage, they're gonna keep him in Harlem. Ain't no way they're gonna bring him in right now. Doctor Strange, he's out fighting with Charlize Theron in the multiverse. And Wolverine, yeah, like I said, I don't think they're doing X-Men anytime soon. So there's that. I hope they don't do New Avengers. I don't think that would sell very well. But that's just me.
Next one is from 80s Kid. It says it's Colin Kang. He's talking about the 10 rings, but I don't think it is. I think it's Colin Galactica.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Or Galactus.
Yeah, Galactus. Sorry. Paramadia, am I one of the only people who think Civil War is just a smaller scale Avengers movie?
No, that's what it is.
Facts.
That's what it is.
I don't know why it's called Captain America Civil War.
Well, the movie is, it has those other characters in it, but it is at its core a Captain America movie. It starts with Captain America. It follows him throughout the film. It just happens to have Iron Man. It happens to have Scarlet Witch. It happens to have Black Panther. It happens to have all these characters. But make no mistake, Steve Rogers is the main character in this film. It is about Steve Rogers. So, but you're also not wrong either. It is a smaller scale Avengers film. It's not like world apocalyptic, like, oh my God, we better save the world. And I'm glad they kind of took a step back from that. And the movie holds up very well. Absolutely.
The Geek Ledger, I think Shang-Chi rings are calling Galactus, and that's setting up next saga.
Just don't know though, because like we said earlier, what's Hawkeye gonna do against Galactus? Oh boy, I don't know. Just the thought of it, I can be in like, he couldn't even take on a snowplow. He's gonna fight Galactus. I shouldn't do that. We're gonna go on. We're gonna move on.
Yeah, 80s kid.
I love Jeremy Renner, by the way.
Jesus Christ. 80s kid just agrees with Paramadia about the Civil War thing. Geek Ledger, hot take, 3 movies, 2 shows, and 1 special presentation a year is a good number.
I mean, if they're all good, if they're all crappy, then we got 3 crappy movies, 2 crappy shows, a crappy presentation, and it's a bad number. I mean, so it depends if it's good or not. But I mean, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, you want to cut down on the TV shows, you want to cut down on the movies. I think that's perfectly fine.
So we're gonna keep going down here. 80s kid, hey Gabe, did you ever watch Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
Nope. Next. I'm just kidding. No. Are you talking about the animated one where Thanos gets the gauntlet and the stones and fights him? If so, then if that's the one, then yes, I have seen that. I thought it was actually kind of fun. All the animated stuff is garbage for the most part. I'm very cynical when it comes to the animated.
Paramedia, Fantastic Four starts before King Dynasty, I believe. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think they said that.
Yeah, they did.
Yes. Okay.
So, Geek Ledger, I think the reason quality has declined is since the first Avengers, they'd been setting up Thanos. They needed to step back and go back to basics for Phase 4, and that led to a drop in quality. He also goes on to say, or yeah, they also go on to say they pivoted to they pivoted too hard to back to set up that they kind of lost sight of the fact that a lot of their world was already set up, so they had to look to other less fleshed out areas of the MCU. That's yes, I get what you're saying. So,
I can't get this to do what I want it to do. I'm sorry, guys.
I
There
don't
we
care if
go.
you can get it to do what you want it to do.
There we go.
We're
Sorry.
trying to answer questions,
Did
homie.
you read Geek Ledger's second one? Is that the one you just finished?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I was trying to fix the thing so everybody could see. Yeah, I mean they set up Thanos because it he was the villain that had to fight, right? I mean, that was the core element, right? Like he was looking for the stones. They happened to have the stones sprinkled out throughout the universe, and he was after the stones. He got the stones. The Avengers tried to stop him. So I mean, it was a pretty forward story, and rightfully so. I mean that is fine. They pivoted too hard to back set up the kind of lost sight of the fact that their world had already been set up, so they had to look to other less fleshed out characters and areas of the MCU. Yes, but with, like Wes said, characters that no one knows about. And I think it's smarter to drop a lesser known character on Disney Plus because he didn't have that back in 2008. But at the same time, you could use the argument that no one knew about Iron Man either. And Iron Man went to make a whole lot of money and is considered one of the best comic book movies ever made. And what's not to say that about Miss Marvel or Moon Knight or She Hulk or anyone like that? You know, not a lot of people know about Moon Knight. So why not throw him in a movie and write a good script and go from there? But I mean, I see what you're getting at though.
And then let's see. He says magic, horror, mythology, etc. Yeah, like that's what. Yeah, that.
It'd be dope. Yeah.
Yeah. Paramedia, Disney's gonna have their own version of Ezra Miller's
Ooh.
situation. If it's true, that's a fact. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Oh,
Look, is that not
yeah.
exactly what I said to
You
you? I
did.
was like, bro, it's gonna be another Ezra Miller.
Unfortunately, yeah. Hope it's not. I hope it's not. I hope everything is gonna be okay. I just hope they don't ignore it like Warner Brothers had. But yeah, it is what it is.
The Geek Ledger, and thus a lot of the projects were hit or miss, just like Phase 1 and 2, Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, Avengers Age of Ultron, Guardians Volume 2, etc.
I consider Guardians Volume 2 a better movie than most of Phase 4. Now I think Shang-Chi is better than Volume 2. I think Spider-Man No Way Home is better than Volume 2. But I would put Volume 2 in like the middle of the overall MCU uh lineup. Like I think it's right on top of the bottom half and the bottom of the top half, if that makes sense. As far as the other movies, I like dude, the more I watch Age of Ultron, the more I like it. It's Age of Ultron, it's so good. Like there's a couple things where it's like, why are we here? But dude, when they're at Hawkeye's house, like when they're fighting, like it's so cool, man. It's so cool. I like it. Incredible Hulk. I liked Incredible Hulk. I thought it was a lot of fun. Iron Man 2, yeah, not the best. Not the best. All right, what else what else does he
The
say?
Geek Ledger, people kind of look back at older MCU projects with rose-colored glasses. MCU movies being divisive is nothing new.
That's not
That's
true. I don't think that is true at all, Kick Ledger. There was a time because we don't see it now. And COVID kind of, I think, helped us lose sight of that. Look, there was a time, I don't care if you like the MCU or not, there was a time where people were raving it like in troves to the theaters to see the next Marvel film. I mean, like in lines and packs. And now it's like, oh, you go watch Quantumania and there might be 12 seats. There might have been 12 people in the opening night of Quantumania, and we went at like, we went at like 7 o'clock. So I don't know if that's true, man. I don't know if that's true. Now maybe in your circles, maybe, but just from my personal experience, I don't think that's true because the movies were making billion after billion after billion. Yeah, there were your Ant-Man that didn't make quite much, but it didn't have to. A movie doesn't have to make $1 billion to be successful. But it, but no, I don't agree with the with that sentiment. Wes, what do you think about that? Do you think he's right or
Plead the fifth. Favorite, yeah. The Boys, Peacemaker, and Invincible are the best superhero shows of the past 5 years for me, hands down. Facts.
I'll say this. I'll go a step further. The Boys, Peacemaker. I loved Invincible, but let's be clear. Peacemaker and The Boys. The Boys is the best show you just mentioned. But let's make no mistake. The Boys is better than anything the Disney Plus shows have put out. Topping WandaVision. Yep. The Boys is better than WandaVision. And I think WandaVision is one of the greatest, I'm going to say, limited series I've ever seen. WandaVision was so good. But yeah, The Boys, Peacemaker. I thought Peacemaker was better than WandaVision. I think The Boys is better than WandaVision. Invincible, I think it's better than probably the rest of the Disney Plus shows. I think I like WandaVision more than Invincible, but Invincible, man, was good.
I'm telling you,
Invincible was so good.
All three of those.
All three of those are fantastic.
And
fantastic.
To think that Invincible came from Seth Rogen, holy shit, really? That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yep.
But great.
I'm a little dubious about season 2. I am a little worried about season 2 because I'm hearing it follows the comic more and it takes place more off Earth, and I kind of like that whole thing about him on Earth and him dealing with Omni-Man and all that stuff. Now, obviously, how season 1 ends. If you haven't seen it, go watch. Do yourself a favor. Go watch Invincible.
Yeah, do yourself a favor. It's awesome.
But yeah, I won't say much more on that. Go ahead.
Let's see. Fantastic Four was announced 2 years ago, which is crazy.
Yeah,
it felt
2 years next month.
They announced it yesterday, and it's not even due for at most another 2 years.
Yeah, right. COVID had a lot to do with that, but yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
80s Kid, Earth's Mightiest Heroes came out in
2010.
It was I'm an idiot.
Oh.
It was awesome.
If that's the one, if that's the one you were talking about, Wes, I think he was talking about that one earlier about it was the cartoon of Thanos getting the stones and they were fighting. It was a little more kid targeted, but I mean, I got a little kick out of it. It was all right.
He said, like all great cartoons, it was canceled after 2 seasons. Then he says, Thor, is that the best you can do? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd ask. I love that.
You had to ask.
In Age of Ultron when they're on the boat. Yep, there he is. There he is with the comment. Is that the best you can do? You had to ask. I love that. The righteous man. Oh man, yeah, that's so good. Guys, thank y'all for your patience and indulgence as we sat here. How do y'all think we kind of approached this stream? This was kind of a test run. We're going to try and do something like this again tomorrow. Be sure, if you like the content, be sure to check us out. Let us know what you think. And again, if you haven't already, again, thank you to each and every one of you. Paramedia, 80s Kid, Geek Ledger, several of y'all have been chatting throughout the stream. Thank you so much. Some of y'all popped in right when we started. Wes, that was a surprise to me, and we're severely grateful. But if you haven't already, do drop a like, do drop the sub, comment, share with your friends, do whatever. Thank you so much for your patience, and as we go through this, I know we had a couple hiccups through here, whether it was audio. We know Wes has to do his thing at 11 o'clock our time, Eastern time, and there was a couple things that I didn't really have set up like I maybe should have had before. I just want to make it the best experience possible for you guys. That's all Wes and I want, is to you guys have the best viewing experience possible. So thank you so much. Thank you again for everything. You guys are awesome. I know we ran a little overtime, but you know what? Y'all dropped a lot of comments and we want to be here as long as y'all want to be here. So thank you again so much. We'll be here again tomorrow. Wes, where can people find you, and tell them what we're planning for the future?
So you can find me at your local mini mart. So you guys can find me at West Rathbone 86 on Twitter. Just drop me a comment, drop me a like, whatever you want to do. Uh, this is sort of the things that like we are gonna try to do more of. We're also, like Gabe said, we're gonna do reviews. We're gonna do, spoiler alert type things for movies and a non-spoiler alert, review of movies and stuff like that and shows. Um, this is, I think what we need to kind of do next time is kind of keep up with the comments, going back through them and kind of trying to retract what we said before. So we're going to work on that. I think what we'll do, what I'll try to do is more interject Gabe because he likes to gab a lot. So, but I love him, so that's why we do this. So we do this for ourselves, because this is just sort of therapy and everything like that because we just love talking about movies and shows and stuff like that. And but we thank you guys so much for coming and doing this and coming and spending your time watching us. So it's kind of crazy that you guys are doing that, and I appreciate it more than you guys will ever know. So thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys the next time that we do this stuff. So tomorrow, maybe. So no, we'll be doing it tomorrow. So, but I want to see you guys and answer any questions that you guys have, or and like you said, if you guys think that we could do something better, or anything like that, please just let us know. But we thank you so much. And because we really didn't know that this was going to happen. So thank you guys very, very much. Gabe, tell them where they can find you.
All right, man. I like, I don't know how to top that. You can find me in Wes's closet here in just a few minutes. I'm just kidding. It was about 40 minutes for me. But no, like you said, thank you guys so much. This is like, we did not think we would have. Now, I know this isn't going to see much for any of y'all, but to look on our stream and to see y'all converse amongst yourselves, shoot Wes and I questions and build a conversation. That's all we want. That's all we want to do is just share our love for movies, share our love for our thoughts in the movie space, and kind of build our own little community. And there are things behind the doors that Wes and I kind of have planned and kind of talk about here and there, but we try to keep the content that we're going to talk about as fresh as possible. We try to keep it as raw as possible, in the sense of we're going to come in here and not have any as much as we can, no premeditated conversations, because we like to hear each other's perspective while you guys hear it. And we think it's a lot of fun. We think it's more enjoyable for you guys. We think it's more natural for you guys. And again, like you said, let us know if we can do anything more in the future that would help your guys' viewing experience. Like, how was the audio? How's the video quality? I know we're shooting at 1080, but do let us know what y'all think. Do let us know. We are streaming also onto Twitch, so let us know what you think. And yeah, like I said, my name's Gabe. Again, you can simply call me Reed. Most people call me that anyway. Wes, man, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I think, but yeah, man, it's been awesome. And sorry, I had a little glitch there. But again, I've rambled on long enough. Wes, it's been fun. Thank y'all for joining us on this journey. Let us know if you want to talk about anything specific. Tomorrow, we don't know exactly what we're going to be talking about. It just depends on how the day looks like as far as news goes. But this is typically the style that we're going to go for, right? It's going to have one big topic, couple kind of, off the cuff, topics at first, and then go into the main thing. And we'll get better as we go. I know we kind of stumble a little bit, and it's late where we're at. It's 12:30 a.m. over here. So it is what it is. But 80s, Geek Ledger, Paramidia, thank y'all so much for joining us. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Cheers.